Cool.
Yep. Yep. Erin, I saw. Hello. Hello
Did
there.
you hear that?
I did. Hello, Fred.
Ah.
I do love Kat's excitement for the spotlight. I think it's very cool.
He for like the first year of streaming, he was so into it. And then the whole second year, he wanted nothing to do with it. And now the third year, he's way into it again. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either. That's an interesting one. I guess everybody gets he gets the urge to be on the spotlight once in a while, so it's always good to.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
I don't think he understands that I'm live again.
Oh, I see.
I think he thinks like because I already streamed once today that how could I be live?
No, I understand. I got you.
His whole routine is thrown off.
Oh, that's right. You have an automaton too. That's right. I didn't even catch that. Like I see it on the side.
I have a yellow one.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yes. Me constantly trying to do socials and spelling your name right.
I understand. I feel bad. I appreciate your. I mean, I understand what challenge that is for a lot of folks. It is long. I own that. I own that. Like it's a long name. I totally get it. Oh, we're good, Cutie Pie. Welcome.
Stare at it.
So good to see you, Cutie Pie. Nice to see you in our chat tonight. All right, let me see. I'm gonna run a quick ad. I'm gonna run the ad break now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, do that right now, and then when we're out of it, we'll go ahead and start.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just finishing up my socials. Meow.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh, I almost wrote live now with gravy.
Sometimes we're live with gravy, so that's not always inaccurate. Sometimes. But to answer Cutie Pie's question, we're doing well. It's great to see you here with us tonight. You wouldn't even believe how many nicknames people have come up for me over the years. Like it's funny.
Oh, I bet.
Gravy's one of them, I think. Yeah.
Gravy, yeah.
Gravy, Davy Baby. Yeah, there's a bunch. Let's see. Yeah, nice. Let's see. So Erin is Arma 1917. I'm so glad to meet you. Welcome in, my friend. I believe you are the one.
Hi, Arma.
It's nice. Yeah, you're a good friend. I mean, I love seeing you in chat over at EBX Erin. So good to have you here. Cutie Pie says, I had a sandwich from Panera, and it was a chicken salad sandwich. I'm a fan.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rahomo, what's going on, my friend? Rahomo's one of our mods here. Davey, it's Dabyline. You missed the first part, though. Davey, he's worth it. I didn't hear that part of the jingle, but I'm just kidding. It's all good. What's up, Smack? So good to see you, Ken. Trish is in the...
friends.
So good to see you. Oh, I'm glad Trish made it in the chat. Hello, Trish. Good to see you.
Trish is hanging out on the couch downstairs.
Cool.
With her sandwich. She also got a sandwich.
Hi. Hello. Joe, horror host Joe, our good friend horror host Joe. We see him around here a lot too. What's up, Joe? Rahoma says, "Oh hi, new friends." Yes, new friends tonight. We're gonna have a good time, folks.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Let's do it.
I got all the socials done.
All right, nice. Let's do it. Push the button to start the music, which I hope to change. Like I mean, it's good, but I want like a kick-ass theme song for this channel. Eventually, this is good though.
Oh, I
like
like this.
Okay. Well, our problems are solved then. How about that? So good to see you. Hello, everybody. My name is Davey. I'm a variety streamer out of Los Angeles. It is great to see you all here again. And I can see our guest tonight approves of the theme song.
Yep.
Friends, I'd like to introduce some of you, because other of you are from Erin's community, but I'd like to introduce you to EBX Erin, who is from the band Elsie Binx. Nice to see you, Erin. Welcome to the show. How's it going tonight?
It's going so well. Thank you for having me, Davey. I've been looking forward to this since we booked it like a month ago.
No worries. You know, it's always good to plan ahead for these kind of scenarios. Yeah. So worth the wait, at least as far from my point of view. Mon, what's going on? It's good to see you, Mon. Can we give a shout out to Mon Samerki as well? Mon is an incredible artist. I think, Mon, you will appreciate the stylings of our friend Erin as well. But Mon is going to be joining me in a couple days, so she does awesome art, and you'll be hearing from Mon on Thursday. But anyway, Erin, great. Yeah, the pleasure's mine too. I think my path to finding you on Twitch was, I don't exactly know, but it's been a really fun time. Like I love, as I was saying, like, as I was writing in the blurbs and everything, like I really think that there's definitely a lot of fun to be had in the sound of your channel, with the look of your channel. It's definitely a cool place. But the most cool thing about it is that you're part of a team, meaning your band. And I don't think I know many other people on Twitch who have the rest of their band also streaming on Twitch. So do you find that dynamic rather unique and something to be proud of?
Oh, yes and yes, 100%. I don't know anybody else who is literally like you just said. They have a band and that multiple members stream. I think the only time I've seen that happen is I know a couple members of Risky Biscuit also stream on separate channels.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That might be one of the only other ones, but it's definitely unique, and we definitely confuse a lot of people with the whole EBX thing. They're like, well, if they're unfamiliar with what we do or what the band is, you know, we'll raid in and they'll be like, oh my God, thank you for the raid, if it's one of us. And then they'll be like, wait, who raided? Hold on. There's 3 of you. There's 4 of you. Like,
that's true.
So it can be confusing, but it is unique. And once somebody knows what the EBX stands for, now they know our band name forever.
That's right. And
so, yeah, it's been awesome.
That is awesome. Right. And you've told the story before on your channel and other channels, and how you got to Twitch, and the story of how you started is doing gaming, and then eventually you tried some music, and then that just kind of grew into a thing. And then over time, and I imagine your friends did the same, and even the band itself has a channel where you meet together every so often. And I was kind of more interested in that too, because what tends to happen mostly, what tends to happen on the ElsieBinx channel specifically? Is there a specific purpose for it?
So it has evolved so much over the last 3 years. We started streaming the very first day our first gig got canceled. So this was like March 13th, 2020. Like, we turned around, we were in the RV heading over to Indiana. We turned our asses around and went back to the studio and set up OBS. And luckily one of the dudes in our band actually knew how to do that. And so we had a very, very rudimentary setup. And we streamed a handful of times before we went on full lockdown as a whole band. We just set up with the rig, plugged it in directly, and we did like shows, like concerts on Twitch. And that's how it all began. And then once we went into lockdown, basically each member of the band who could hold their own and stream basically took a night of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So we would rotate, since there are 6 of us that have streamed, but now 4 of us regularly stream. So at the time it was rotating, and I would do music and Johnny would do music, Jen would do music, and then Phil and Kevin actually did production. And so that's kind of what the gateway was for a while. And for about maybe a whole year we did that. So not only was I streaming and modding 4 days a week, I was also trying to build my own channel, which it was absolutely crazy. But after we decided to kind of like lay low for a little bit in that way, we started getting back together, and we decided that we were going to stream our rehearsals every single Thursday. So we basically stream our rehearsals, but now we've pivoted over to doing song requests. And sometimes we play song requests that we don't know very well. And it is bad. It's not that good, but it's fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's
absolutely,
it's fun. Uh, but now it's and then that's how Purple Wayne, that emote right there, the S Max threw in there. We were talking about Purple Rain, the song, and Phil, our bass player, accidentally said Purple Wayne, and so now we have a mascot, and it's Purple Wayne, and it's Wayne Campbell from Wayne's World, but he's also got face tats like Lil Wayne. Trish is actually the person that created that.
That's great.
Just stupid. And so now we stream every Thursday, no matter what. We also do writing sessions sometimes, because if the whole band isn't there, we can't really put on a good show per se. So last week we did a writing session, just me, Jen, and Phil, and we wrote a new song. Like we try to at least have that consistent Thursday with everybody. But it's proving to become difficult, more and more difficult as time moves forward. But everybody loves Twitch and nobody wants to stop streaming. So we can make one day a week work.
Absolutely. It is great that you can do that you can meet once a week, because time is hard. Like, time is hard to procure for anything, even just an hour. So, you know, if you can get together for an hour or 2 hours every Thursday, and you can share it with your fans, like, that's the best thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have an update to make to the to the blurb. Thanks to thanks to our friend Trish, who says, you know, I think it was a little bit earlier in the chat. Trish, good to see you, by the way. Erin's bio of Trish, who is equally as fun and engaging, is the most polite way to phrase that. So let me adjust that. As suggested by Mutt, equally chaotic and derailing, which I love. I will change
I do too.
There's definitely a lot of chaos over at your channel, though. Like that's always been that's always been a signature of EBX, Erin. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought it cut out for a second. My bad. But what happened was, when I first started streaming, Trish very naturally fell into the moderator position. And so we were trying to set things up to where she could type to me, and sometimes she was in another room, but sometimes she was in the same room as me. But what ended up happening was that I have like isolating earbuds, you know? And so she would try to tell me something from across this room. And I couldn't hear her because these are isolating. And so I'm like, can I just give you a microphone, like a producer microphone, you know? And I'm like, but it doesn't make sense for the stream to not be able to hear it. Like, I want to route it so everybody can hear it. And she's like, okay, fine, whatever, if that's how it has to be. And it all was born out of the fact that I could not hear her telling me stuff. Like, because when you first start streaming, sometimes you miss things, you miss follows, you miss raids. This is like over sensory stuff, you know? So in the beginning I was missing stuff, and she would tell me like, hey, try to get my attention. But that's honestly what happened. Was she was not actually always a part of the stream. When we gamed, she was pretty much always a part of the stream, though. We would sit on the couch downstairs, and we would just sit together in a camera and play video games. And she was like the game guide. But yeah, she wasn't always a part of the stream the way she is now, it's just funny. It kind of just evolved into that over time.
I wondered about that too. Like, it is, and we're all so happy for it. Like, it's great to see the dynamics between you, see that chemistry play out on the stream too. Like, it's really neat to see that on. It makes for a better stream, I think. And Sparky's in the chat. What's going on, Sparky? Did y'all like that one? Wait, where was it? Was that earlier? But I would say. Oh, and the question is, did we eat our sandwiches? For stream purposes, no, but we're getting pretty close to that. So, oh, nice. Oh, this was talking about the sandwiches. So wait,
yeah,
Trish,
I did have to cheat earlier. I told Davey before we went live, I had to get something in my belly. I ate about half my sandwich, but I kept the other half.
That's rock solid for me. Vladiamore, a.k.a. Trish. Which one did you end up having? Did you end up getting the big kahuna? I did lurk for a little bit, and I was hearing about that. But yeah, did you catch which sandwich Trish had?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's Highlash. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Lash. Good to see you. I'll take your half.
Yes. And no, you cannot have my half. No.
Trish says, I got number 5, the Super Zip. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. 13. I like 9 and 8 a lot. And I think there's a new one that's out too. That's I kind of like too, but I don't know what number it is. But those are great. All these are great. Yeah, we're gonna be
this is only. Oh, sorry. This is only my second time getting Jersey Mike's, and I don't remember what we got the first time.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. I was starving to death, so yeah. I just ate it.
Kenny says, "Is Quiznos still a thing?" I don't think so. I'd be surprised.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's still a thing where you are? Wow.
Yeah, only because I only know this because that's how I met my guitar player. He worked at a Quiznos, and it's still there. That one location is still there.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Well, good on them for hanging on. Like I thought they were all gone. So good times. Need to order again soon. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, your dad's here. EBX dad, welcome. I forgot that your parents are also.
Yes.
EBX mom and dad. It's good to see everybody. You all are so supportive of people on Twitch. I think it's like one of my favorite things about the Elsie Binx family in the chat, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
And I know that there was one point because of circumstances beyond your control, you're hanging out with your parents and you were playing Jenga, and that looked like a lot of fun. But just to refresh my memory, who won? I couldn't remember.
Oh, you know what? I don't remember, but I'm sure my dad's about to remember.
Yeah.
I think my mom won one of them. I think I lost once.
Okay.
I think we only played 3 games. I messed one of the games up real bad, pretty close to the beginning of the game.
Ooh.
And I think mom won once, and I don't remember. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. It was circumstances beyond my control. We actually lost power for 72 hours that week. And so I was like, well, we have to warm up. It was still pretty cold here in Michigan. It wasn't freezing, thank goodness. It was like in the 50s and 40s, but it was cold enough to where days on end, it was very cold. It was getting dangerously cold. And so we went over there for the day in hopes that maybe the power would come on while we're magically streaming at my parents' house, and it didn't. So we actually ended up leaving and getting shelter at Trish's parents' house, and we took the cat. It was a whole thing. But yeah, that day I was like, well, it's a Friday. I want to stream. I don't know what to do. And so I was like, I think that Jenga would be fun, and everybody had a blast, and now we have to schedule another one because everybody had a blast.
Exactly. Yeah. That definitely, I think we're all going to be excited for that. Like, would you make that like maybe a follower goal or a bit goal or something like that? Or just do it?
I did.
Oh, you did?
No, I did make it a goal, and we hit the goal.
Oh, you hit the goal.
I can't recall what it was.
EBX dad, I only remember me winning all the time forever.
That's on par. Yeah.
Oh, it was a charity goal.
Oh, it was a charity stream goal. Yes. Yes.
Even better.
Good memory.
Yeah. Thanks, Trish. Armand 1917 was one of my favorite quotes in the channel's history. I will get to that like momentarily. Brettington, what's going on? Brett's in our chat. What's going on, Brett? And Kenny's in our chat. Kenny's Prog Rock Jukebox, a.k.a.
Yes.
Kenny from both the PRPB and the Jukesters. So good to see you for a limited time, much like McDonald's promotions. But, but he did announce that he's going to be retiring from streaming pretty soon. So we just, cherish the moments we have left with our friend Kenny on Twitch. I mean, Kenny's still going to be around. Yeah. It's just not streaming. Let's see. Bredington says, well. It's a long story.
Well.
Yeah. Sparky says Erin's fat is the Jenga master. And
yes.
Then, it sounded.
He actually got a nickname from the Jenga stream called Steady Hand Steve.
Whoa, nice. But it is really cool. And Sparky was saying it was fun watching you all waste time while the power is out. That's a very, very good way to do it, because Jenga's the kind of game you can't play right away. You need to really think about each move. So it makes a lot of sense to go with a game like Jenga.
It was like a 3-hour stream.
Wow.
It wasn't quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty wild. A question from Kenny. What should I pack for lunch on my ride to Quiznos for lunch? Because Kenny said there was like 2 quizzes. Each one's 100 miles away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't see that. I see it now.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, for sure. Like, it definitely is the most stressful game ever, Trish. So, speaking of sandwiches, I think let's not waste any more time because we have so many people in our chat, and I know we're all getting pretty hungry here. So, it is time for the jeez, here we go. There we go. Sandwich of the week.
Yeah.
And some great ones this week, folks. Let's go over to Erin and see what Erin has for us from Jersey Mike's.
So we have some Jersey Mike's. I got the number 13. It is, oh God, let me not get lettuce on my keyboard. I'm going to get nice and close for you. Will it read? There it goes. Look at that. Look at how thick. This sandwich deserves the Arby's tagline. We have the meats.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I ate the first half because I needed to get food in my body. But oh my God. And it's like every Italian meat. It's like salami and pepperoni and capicola. And so like meats I can't even pronounce. So I love it though. It's so good.
It looks
She's a meaty sandwich.
Yeah, definitely. Lives up to that one lives up to that's a thick sandwich for sure. I gotta thank a lot of people from your community for follows, like Ken R1, Dreamswift Gaming, Eli 1984, Mario Bago, Hi X Slash, Jove 313, and also Smack 969. Thank you for the gift sub to our friend Trish. I appreciate it. Very kind of you all. And Arma 1917, it's great to see you. Now, I believe it was either yourself or someone else in the EBX Aaron chat who says you could be more than a sandwich if you sub to the channel. That's what I got tonight. We have this.
It was you could just be a sandwich, or you could be a sub.
Mm-hmm. To be more than. So I too will be more than a sandwich tonight. Take a look. This is. Yeah, this has got all the meats. Like this has.
Look at the presentation, Davey. That presentation, it doesn't even look real.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm very impressed too. Like this. Yeah, this is great. Look at the bread too. This baguette is awesome. You got.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty stacked, you guys. Like this is great. Got some mayo on there, some Italian dressing, and with it, I have some chips. These are tortilla chips I got from a fancy grocery store named Bristol Farms in the LA area. Really good. Tonight, I'm going to be drinking this with a Mexican Coke. Let's go. I love Mexican Coke. Good stuff. Yeah. Erin, what will you be having as far as drinks tonight?
I have a, what is it? Mango? No, it's a LaCroix that I put in my cup. It's like peach, mango, something. Trish is going to remember, and I just don't remember. But it's a LaCroix flavor that's really tasty. I think it's peach. Oh, tangerine. I knew it was something orange.
Nice.
Nothing. None of the above.
Mango, not peach. Tangerine, but tangerine sounds great. That sounds pretty good.
It's because there was a V8 drink up here earlier that was literally mango peach. Oh, so okay. I just kind of kept going. It's an orange fruit.
But Trish says it's so close, kind of. None of the above.
Yeah.
But you got the color right. The color of the so that's definitely part of it. Cutie Pie says I have Jarritos. Oh, those are great. Jarritos is a Mexican orange soda. Oh, it's good times. And Trish, I feel you. I mean, yeah, whenever I have I don't get to drink it a lot, but when I do, it's terrific. So I got this here for it. Let's enjoy it.
Nice.
Yes. Have the other half of our sandwich. Trish says, I'm just yelling tangerine from the couch. This is how I ended up with the mic.
Quite literally. That's exactly how it happened.
It's fantastic. Sparky says, lots of Mexican Coke in Arizona. Nice. Yeah. I would figure as much, Sparky. Well, let me raise one up to all of you here in our community, our combined communities for tonight.
Yes.
Thank you so much for hanging out.
I'm not raising my drink. I'm raising my sandwich.
I'll take the sandwich. Sounds good, too.
It's fine. Raise the sandwich.
Raise the sandwich. Up to you all, everybody. Yeah. But you need to yell in purple, Trish, says Jove.
Yes.
Yeah.
The purple highlighting. That's their go-to.
Yeah. Yeah. Armut says, I cheer with food often. That's great.
Yeah.
It's smart.
It works.
I mean, you can even take something as small as a chip and then raise it a toast with a chip. As I just like that. Cutie Pie says, I had root beer yesterday. Cutie Pie is quite a bunch of sodas there. That's pretty good. Yeah,
I love root beer.
Root beer is good. What's your favorite root beer?
Oh, probably A&W.
Solid. Yeah.
I think A&W. I haven't, to be fair, I haven't had a lot of the other ones lately. So I think A&W is what's on in my brain the most. But I don't think that I dislike any of them.
Yeah, everybody, they're all pretty good, I think. You know, like IBC, even like the fancier ones like IBC and Dr. Brown's, like those are all pretty good.
The IBC cream soda.
Yeah. So good. So good. Jesse says, by the way, Jesse Nicole. So Jesse Nicole or Jesse? Yeah, Jesse Nicole. Thank you so much for joining us. I like root beers made with sugar as opposed to, high fructose corn syrup. There's no question. Like, one reason why the Mexican Coke is so advantageous, it has pure sugar.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole, I mean, I could go on a whole rant about that. I'm not gonna, but it just
That should be just the commercial. It just tastes better.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Brett says, I'll take a sarsaparilla or birch beer. Yeah, sarsaparilla. I've never had a sarsaparilla. At least I haven't had it in a while. Have you ever, it sounds so country western, but have you ever had a sarsaparilla, Erin?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Let me shout out to Breddington though, or I think we already had one, but it just we can do another one. Mexican Coke by far superior. I completely agree. And then so when you can venture, if you ever have been to Mexico, you also can try things like Mexican Sprite and Mexican Squirt and Mexican. One of my personal favorites, like Mexican Crush. Oh, that's good. Yeah, Davey has Mexican.
I've never been to Mexico.
Oh, never been. Okay. Yeah.
No.
Well, if you ever get the chance, especially if you wanted to go someplace like Cancun or Tulum or places near there like that, that's a very fun time. It's a very fun time for sure. Jesse says, fun fact, during the Jewish high holy days, you can get 2-liter bottles of Coke made with sugar, kosher Coke. Like homemade? I've never thought of that's interesting. Yeah. But let's see, how are we doing on time? Okay, great. So that looks good. But yeah, I mean, 3 years on Twitch is a great run. Like, and it's not nothing that you're still going after 3 years, because there are some, not streamers come and go. Sometimes things happen, right? Sometimes sometimes things out of your control happen, but to still have your thing going as long as it's been going, it's a pretty neat thing. I mean, what do you think it is that keeps you going as far as being a streamer and doing a regular schedule?
And that's such a great question. It comes up all the time because it's this line between, yes, I have to make money, but if I didn't like doing this, I also just wouldn't do it. And so honestly, what keeps me coming back is all the people here in this chat, basically, who literally day in, day out, well, I should say stream in, stream out, if you will, come hang out and support in whatever way they can. I've never had that before in my life. Like, yeah, you have the regulars that come out to the club gigs, but it's not the same. And having a community offline as well, like Discord, and just being able to go hang out with people in the Discord, and we have a giant Discord. Like, every single topic you can think of has its own channel. It's like people who want to talk about food, cool. That's all you want to talk about, and that's the only place you ever want to be. Great. We post our food almost every single night, kind of thing. And we have just any kind of channel you can think of, and that paired with the fact that the community that comes to our streams, they care. It's not. It's hard to describe. Like, the people that come to your gigs in real life, it's a certain amount of, like, I have to go because I said I would go. Like, if that makes sense. Like, if you don't want to go to a Twitch stream, you just don't open the app. You just don't go. And so the people that do show up, it means the world, because it's just these people care at the end of the day. That's the reason I keep coming back, is because we've found people who are actually our friends. These aren't people that just want proximity to musicians, which is a thing. it's people who actually care and actually want to be around us, me and Trish, and want to be my friend. And that's just not the case in real life. It's at least it's not my experience. I was on stage for 10 years before switching over to Twitch almost exclusively. Like I only do a handful of gigs every single year at this point. And so I'm almost exclusively performing on Twitch, and the difference in the people that show up is it's radical. The people that come to your gigs, they care about you, but like they're not, I don't know, it's not like we can just hang out and be friends, I don't know. It's hard. We friends. Yeah, we friends, exactly. Hi, E flat guy. Yeah, proximity to musicians is weird. It's like people come to a show just to say they got a picture with you and tag you, but they didn't come talk to you. They didn't ask you how your day was because they didn't care. They just wanted to be in proximity to, ooh, she does this gig today. Ooh, I got to meet them today. And I'm guilty too. I go to conventions and pay money to meet celebrities. I'm just as bad. But for me, my mental health, yes, creative, yes, exactly. I'm sure in LA it's crazy. Like it's a lot worse, but yeah, okay. I'm glad that I'm making sense because I'm I feel like I'm rambling and I don't make sense, but I'm glad y'all get it. It's a different type of person that shows up to the gig than they do on Twitch because they want to be our friend and I want to be their friend,
Yeah.
Like there's no proximity to, ooh, this person who played this gig. I get to go meet him and take a selfie. It's not that. It's so not that. And telling somebody who's not on Twitch something like that, they would think I've lost all my marbles. It doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like until you experience it firsthand, you have no idea.
Yeah, 100%. Let me say hello to Green Guy Music, a Photic Photon, and that E-Flat guy on Creative Minds. So many cool streamers have just joined us in the chat all of a sudden. Let's give them all a shout out. Friends, you should follow all of our good friends here in our chat because they all do cool things. Green Guy does, I think I mentioned Green Guy. We are going to have a Photic Photon on the 2-year stream anniversary in a couple of days. I'm very excited about that. And Green Guy, we're hoping to have on tomorrow, or not tomorrow, sorry, Wednesday for a, so great to see you all again. And I think that's another thing that's really neat about the musician community is that it does seem like there's a bond and there's a commonality between like the kind of music that people do. So let's go ahead and we're going to start our ad break. Some of you will be back in 90 seconds, and the rest of you we can hang out here. But I did love that. I really did. Let me catch up on chat. Well, we'll catch up on chat after the maybe do a marble stream to find them. Wait, what are we getting into? Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yes. I've lost my marbles, Kenny. It's true.
Oh, that's funny. Kenny, that was funny. All right. We'll have to repeat that joke, but this is hysterical. Photic Photon says he's Batman and an Oscar winner. Nice. But yeah. No, and I have to admit, sometimes I'm even guilty of the proximity factor because I think some of it is just the fact that people like fans of a person might be too intimidated to talk to them. You might think, oh, but they may not want to, we might think we're bothering them. There's a little bit of that too, but
yeah,
that's the beautiful thing about streaming is that you do get to know people. And by the time you meet them, it's like, you've already been friends with them. And in the end of the day, you were.
Yeah. And it's very different on Twitch is you get to meet somebody in real life. Like I've gotten to meet Jesse and Ken, and I've gotten to meet Beta, and I've gotten to meet a lot of people, even if it does mean just like hanging out in the Discord, but like IRL, I've gotten to meet those people, and it's as if you know them anyway. Like it doesn't even change. Like it's so weird.
I hear
because it's not the phenomenon that's parasocial relationship. That's where the person, the content creator, has no relationship with the person, and it is entirely made up by the consumer. This is quite literally the opposite of that. We actually really do have relationships with the people watching us, and that is by far just the best thing ever. Like when we met, we stayed at Ereza Beta's house. They're in the chat somewhere. We stayed at Ereza Beta's house for like almost a week in total, and it was it was so not weird to just hang out with them on their couch watching a movie. Like, and we'd never met in real life. So it's, I don't know. It's the best thing. It's kind of ruined me for life though, because now you know what I mean? Like it's ruined me in the best way because I don't want to go back.
Oh, I feel it. I feel it. So you can imagine when you have events like TwitchCon or concerts that feature other folks who are from the Twitch community doing a show like in your area. That must be fun because you're like, well, these guys are cool. I already know. You know, I'm already familiar with what they do and how they are. And so that's really great. I know that you've met some folks from our Twitch community in person. Fenwa Terrian, I remember very well, like you had a trip to Salem. My friend C-Dub Guitar, you met when you were doing an Elsie Binx show. That sounded awesome.
Oh, yes, got to meet C-Dub and Gail Hakes West that night.
That's really cool. I mean, how would you describe how was the gig? I think is my query, because like I mean those gigs must always be great, but like what was the energy like that night and after, during that moment when you got to also meet some cool friends of ours?
Yeah, we did 3 gigs that weekend. We left town and did a couple gigs. And so the first one was not that far from home, and that one did not have a very good turnout. The gig itself was fine, but it didn't have that great of a turnout. But a lot of people, Jove, we met Jove last summer, but Jove came out, a couple other people, Mr. Negan, I don't think he's in here, but we recently met him on Twitch and he came out to that gig and we got to meet him, which was very, very cool. And then we went to Illinois and did a gig. And then the one we met C-Dub and Gail at was the day after that. And it was in Wisconsin at a bar called the Back Bar in Janesville, Wisconsin. And that was actually the best attended gig out of all 3 of them. And we made lots of, oh yes, Damon Archie came with us too. Hello. But we did already meet him prior in real life. But he actually did the little tour with us. He came with us and kind of assisted in video content and helping us, just more hands on deck. It honestly helps. Like it's a lot of work. And there he is.
Hey, Damon Archie. Nice to meet you. Hello there.
Yeah. Media Man. I'm just going to call him Media Man for now.
Media Man, videos and photography.
But it was so cool because I've never gotten to perform for other streamers. We've met D, we've met Jove, we've met Negan. I feel like I'm missing other people too who have since come to shows, but they're just not coming to me at the moment. But that was the first time we got to perform in front of streamers, meaning C-Dub and Gail Hakes. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a little fucking stressful. It was a little stressful.
Oh, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was stressful when you know people in the audience, but you haven't performed for them yet. There's this like this teetering over the edge. Like, okay, I got to really sell them on this because they see me play on Twitch all the time and they're musicians and it's pressure. It's a lot of pressure. Exactly, creative. It's a lot. I would rather not know a single soul in an audience than know anybody in the audience.
I get it. I would feel so much pressure if people I knew, and particularly people I really cared about, like close friends or family, were in the audience for whatever thing I was doing. Like that, I totally get. Yeah, for sure.
And it's different. Like I was even that way even before Twitch. Like if a fellow musician came out to a gig, I was like, oh no, like let me hide. I don't want to perform for you.
I get it. Yeah, and creative saying the same. Yeah. I have so much to catch up on the chat, but thank you so much for so I have met Efrat says he had the incredible privilege of meeting me, and very humble. Thank you so much, Ryan. I also have met Photic Photon over at TwitchCon when it was in San Diego. Okay. I met Creative Minds in Venice when we were and I may have met Creative another time too, but definitely in Venice when there was like a big festival down there. It was really good. I have not met Joey St. Louis. Joey, I want that to happen, and horror host Joe too. So that's really cool. You've got to meet some really cool people, and as you mentioned, that just adds to the intensity of your pressure to do the show, which is just really fun. Now, is that now when you talk about that? Is that tougher is it easier in a band scenario? Because when you're in a band, you have other people with you doing music. Or if you're just doing a solo show like yourself on a piano or guitar, what have you, that must be even more pressure because it's only you. There's no one else with you. And
so I don't do that in real life.
Oh, okay.
I started that way in 2008 or 9. I did actually just me and a guitar. One of my dad's old guitars, just old as hell, older than me. And my uncle had gifted me an amp, an acoustic amp. And I think my dad had gotten me a microphone for Christmas a couple years prior to that. And I still have that microphone, actually. It's one of my backup mics. And I did gigs at coffee houses in either 2008 or 2009, maybe actually both. And so then I got picked up almost immediately by a wedding band in the area. And so I was booked every single weekend of my life for almost 10 years straight. And that sounds dramatic, but I'm not being dramatic. Like, that's actually, I'm not exaggerating. We would have a couple weekends off in the wintertime because like wedding season isn't really then. But even on those weekends, there might be a club gig booked or something. So I would rarely, when I tell you, I may have had 3 weekends off per year for 10 years. I'm not joking. And I had day jobs too. And so I didn't have any time to do other gigs. I wish I could have. But what's funny is I've always played piano. I've played piano since I was 10, and I've been reading music, I think, for about the same amount of time. So I've always accompanied myself. I tried to be a YouTuber, y'all. Some of y'all have gone.
I kind of saw. I do remember you mentioning that during one of, was it your birthday stream? At some point, I remember you showing us some of your old YouTubes. And
yes.
It had moments. Like, it seemed like there was a couple things got viral, right?
No, I wouldn't say viral. Okay. Some of my videos do have a lot of views, but it's taken 10 years to get them that way.
Gotcha.
So there was no real virality, if you will. but it was fun while it lasted. I knew it wasn't going to make me any money. Like, that's just not the way YouTube works, you know.
Yeah,
at the time, anyway, you had to be doing like sketch comedy basically on YouTube in 2000. I tried to be, you know, a YouTuber basically in 2009, and then I took some years off, and then in 2014 I think I tried again, and I did a weekly show called One Take Tuesday. And so I would do a song in one take, not the first take necessarily, but in one take. And so the gimmick was, can I do it? What song? I did like social media votes on the songs. And so I did my best to try to do that, but I also had a day job, and I still had the wedding band, and I was in 2 wedding bands too at that time. And I was emceeing for one of them, running weddings basically. So it was just never going to be my priority the way Twitch allowed itself to be, because I was retiring from the wedding industry in 2020. I had about 10 gigs left that I was contractually, like contractually, there it is. Yeah. Contractually supposed to take care of. And a couple of them still happened, and I had to fight tooth and nail to be like, I'm absolutely not doing that. So 2019, me and my boss worked to get me out of the promo stuff, because 10 years of promo stuff is a lot to get, you know, kind of push out of the way so people don't think they're hiring me. And so we worked to get me out of the promo stuff, and 2020 was going to be the last year I worked for him. And so it was a transition I was already preparing for. But I hadn't been accompanying myself for many years. And so I didn't have a keyboard anymore. This keyboard it happened to fall into my lap. My grandma wanted a keyboard to practice with, and then she bought a new one. So my dad bought this one off of her, and that was like a couple years before the pandemic. So I just happened to have a very decent keyboard.
Wow.
I know, like, just synchronicity there.
Absolutely.
And so like I had a crappy keyboard to write music with, like for the band, but I have not done gigs on my own, and I still have not done gigs on my own since 2009.
That's fascinating.
I mean, I would, put it this way, if Twitch died tomorrow, I would be calling bars and wine places, and you know what I mean? That would be the next step for me. If I'm not even going to say it again because we don't want that in the universe. But if something happened and I needed to go out on my own and do this, I would.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not my experience. I haven't actually done that. So Gail said specifically, she was like, I can't believe like I love you. You're so great on Twitch, but like what just happened is like amazing. Because it's different. It's a rock band. It's a 5-piece rock band blasting your face off.
It seems so tight. Like we are all, I'm sure everybody across North America is rooting for a pretty large scale tour eventually. But
oh yeah,
that'd be fun. Now, Photic Photon asks, how did you hold it physically during all those wedding gigs and so on?
That's a great question. I was, so I, with for those of you who don't know, because some of you totally might not know, I was diagnosed with endometriosis in 2013, but I've had a lot of symptoms for many years prior to that. But I got my official diagnosis in 2013 and actually started taking very good care of myself. So I was already in the wedding band for about 3 years up until that point. And the wedding band did pretty much, like I said, work every single weekend. And thank you for the Endo Warrior emotes. And so I was still in the beginning of my wedding corporate career, I was still figuring it all out. Endo has a lot of food triggers, and that's half the battle. And so once I figured the food triggers out, I was able to take care of myself better. But I was tired all the time. And in 2016, that's when I gave up my day job because I physically could not do it anymore. I did the 2 wedding bands and a day job. It was for the same company that owned the wedding bands, so that was helpful. If we had an early gig on a Friday night, I'd be like, "Hey, I got to peace out." Like, "No, I'm not. Bye." And you know where I got to be in 3 hours. So we decided together that I needed to go in 2016. So I gave up my day job for him, for E3 Detroit in 2016. And then it was a little easier. But those 3 years between like 2013, 14, 15, I guess that's 16, like 4 years, I was a struggle bus all the time. When you hear other endo warriors talk about the fact that you're in pain all the time, you're bloated all the time, you can't put pants on, you're just, you can't move from the couch, you can't get out of bed. I literally barely functioned. My boss also gaslit me a lot, and he was like, my mom has endo and she doesn't act like you. And I'm like, which
I know
there's so many things rough. And I was taking care of myself as best as I could, but you got to make money. And I didn't understand that it was just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. I was thinking that, I had a surgery in 2013 to help, but it didn't do everything it needed to do. So I still have not had another surgery, and that's because that is because I'm not in enough pain, according to most doctors. Endometriosis is very, very under-researched. It's very, very underfunded.
Yeah.
And so I think an able-bodied person would have been totally fine doing what they do or doing what I did, because that's what able-bodied people can do. And a lot of my coworkers and peers were fine. And so I just buried it all and was like, well, I must be being dramatic. It must not be too real then, because if everybody else is fine, then I guess I'm fine too. And I'm young. And that's what the doctors kept telling me. Well, you're young. Well, not all young people are healthy. And so I was pushing myself beyond belief. And I basically once a week, I couldn't even move a muscle. Like Sundays were out of the question. Like, don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I'm not getting in the shower. I'm sitting here with my TV on.
Yeah, that's
under a heating pad. Like it was wild. And I see all your comments. Thank you.
I mean,
it's exactly creative. And I wish that I had a community like I do now, because the people around me didn't understand what I was going through. Absolutely. I didn't even understand what I was going through. like I couldn't even really pinpoint like that I needed to rest more until 2016. And I was like, I'm going to die. Like I'm literally going to end up in the hospital again if I don't stop. And so that did help a lot. But at the end of the day, only in 2020, upon sitting my ass down and not gigging every single weekend of my life. Only now do I actually get the amount of rest that I need. Like, my band knows that I don't love doing gigs. I don't need to do gigs. I am perfectly happy never leaving my house again, as long as I get to continue writing music with them. But that's not how the rest of the band feels. So I try to compromise the best that I can, you know? But yeah, it was hard. The answer really is, 30 minutes later, the answer really is I barely got through it. I wasn't okay most of the time. And I look back at that and just wonder,
Yeah.
I don't know how I got through it.
We're glad you got through it, and it does seem so unfair what you went through. Like, it's just kind of raw. It's really too bad. But I do appreciate the comments in chat too. Really great. I have a hydrate command for Tuma Tenga at 41. So let me do that for you.
I need to do that too.
Hydration is always key. Not only rest, but hydration and rest always crucial to good healthy living, or healthy or comfortable living anyway. Let's see. Creative says, I read that it's very important to make gigs do super duper special when you do them, like a huge party. Do gigs rarely, but make them special. Interesting take. I like that take. Yeah. And Jerry says,
and the less gigs you do, the more special they are. That's honestly what I've discovered over the last couple of years, is that when we were gigging every single weekend in EBX, I could not keep up. I couldn't actually efficiently promo any single gig because you're gigging every single weekend. So now that we only gig maybe once a month, have a weekend of gigs maybe once a month, maybe twice a month max, I can put all of my efforts outside of streaming into promoting the gigs, and it makes it so much more special. So I 100% agree.
I love that. Yeah. And what do we have here? Armut says he compared that to like when the Beatles stopped touring and became a studio band. It just builds up anticipation for any big event they would do. Like, it's huge. And thank you for all the follows, everybody. My goodness, Lauzi, I appreciate Dallas Arlo and Fat Boy Tro. I appreciate all your follows tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. Damon Arc D says, I don't consider myself a photographer, but other people seem to, so I just play along. Well, I know that Jerry's a photographer. Jerry of Photic Photon is a fantastic photographer. I do, and Jerry mentioned, thank you for sharing the story, and I do thank you for that. I mean, it's the biggest thing we can do tonight in a scenario like that is just raise the awareness so that, it's just important for folks to know that they are seen and heard and everything,
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely huge. So now what I'm going to do for all of you in our chat, D doesn't do anything half-assed. No, just the way it came out was funny. I love the comment. Like, I think that's an awesome point. Would you subscribe to that too? I would subscribe to that. Yeah, D, I'm sure, puts 110% in everything. I love it. But we all get a sub, Sammy. Yeah, there you are. Photon says, I work in a high school with kids who have similar experiences, and it's really eye-opening. Gosh. Oh, man. Wow. They got to be heard too, That's sort of my take on that. Joey St. Louis says, how do you feel about hang gliding?
Joey, I love that. Here's the thing, I'm an adrenaline junkie. I would hang glide in a moment. The only thing I wouldn't do is skydive. I have been asked point blank, would you go skydiving with me? And I'm like, hard pass, but I would go hang gliding.
With it.
I've jumped off like a 10-foot cliff into the river. Dad, what river was that? I'm an adrenaline junkie. Roller coasters all day.
Roller coasters sound like fun, yeah. Okay, so friends, it is now time for you to ask some additional questions of our friend Erin in what we call America's favorite moment in Twitch broadcasting. Let's go.
It's time for random questions. Ask us anything.
I love that.
You heard them. Ask us anything. The way you do it, exclamation point question followed by the question itself. And I got a question or two myself as we roll through it. So get those questions in there, everybody. I'd love to hear from you tonight. It'd be great to catch up. I think Squirrel Suit Gliding. There it is, Sparky. Oh, it's the Arkansas River. Okay.
Yes, Arkansas River.
Cool.
I knew my dad would know.
Cool beans. Oh, Alex is in here. Hello, Alex. welcome.
Hi, Alex.
Nice to see you tonight. I love that I can recognize the folks on your chat too. Like this is really great. Like it's all good to see all the cool regulars here in our chat joining us tonight. So
y'all came out to play tonight. I was 12 when I jumped into the Arkansas River. That's true.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh yeah. The question. Thank you, Aoife. I've been slacking with the question. We have a question we ask every week on the show, and I'm trying to be better at being more consistent with it. So here it is. This is from that EFAT guy, but it's a question we ask every week. Here it is. Which breakfast food is best? Pancakes, waffles, French toast, or crepes?
That's a tie between French toast and crepes. It depends on what's in the crepes, because
True,
I might
true.
choose that over French toast, depending on what it's stuffed with.
Arma says bacon is also the answer.
Bacon.
Well, barring bacon, other than bacon, well, assume that the best thing could be in crepes then. Then we would be taking. I need to adjust that. Got to be carcinogen bacon, says Trish. Bacon is
Yes,
not.
I like my bacon cremated, as Dale Cooper would say on Twin Peaks.
That's great. Oh, have a good look at Creative Minds. Give our friend Creative Minds a follow, everybody. Really cool people.
Yes, and Creative Minds is on my stream team, by the way.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
My Chronically
Sickening. That's a cool
Yeah.
team. That is a cool team. That's like that is fantastic. Like now, how long have you had the Chronically Sickening team in operation?
The very first thing I did when I got partnered was
Okay.
set that team up. And so it was last August. I think August 11th maybe
Okay.
is my partnerversary, I think. And it was always in my plan. It was always in there. I was like, as soon as I make partner, I am making a team for chronically ill streamers at any genre or category, whatever. And that is what I did.
That's awesome.
And so I think last August.
What a cool way to reach out. That's really neat, and sounds like an awesome team too. Because I think I know a couple people from there too. Yeah, and Jerry says that's fucking dope. It is. It absolutely is. By the way, I should mention we can swear on this channel. I just thought I should clarify.
I said fuck once earlier, and then I was like, oh, I didn't ask.
Yeah, I always subscribe to the idea that this is a podcast, so it's like any other podcast where generally cussing is very much encouraged. So we're happy to accommodate. Horror Host says I do. Yes, I do. Absolutely, absolutely, I do. Yeah. So. Great. Let's keep going with. So we haven't really. I don't think you've broken the tie. We're gonna say crepes then. Let's go with crepes.
Yeah.
Now, no, not so. One of my mods wrote that. Now that's. I don't subscribe to that question. I will edit that. I care. I care.
Dad's right. Everything else is just something to put bacon on. Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Bacon is truly the answer to this question.
Yeah.
So all the George Carlin worlds banned from TV. Yep. The Dirty Seven. They're all in play here tonight. Sparking. So, get those questions in, my friends. Like exclamation point question followed by the question itself. And now, a question from the Phototown. Do you guys think in 10 years, musicians or artists having live streaming experience or currently streaming will be a norm or still be obscure since we are well into the digital age?
I think it's already becoming more mainstream. I'm seeing bands over the pandemic doing digital concerts. I don't know if they're still happening now that touring is back, but I will say more and more people that I come across know what Twitch is, for better or for worse. If they're like, isn't that the gaming platform? Some of them even know that there's more than gaming on Twitch now. So I think that it'll continue to rise. The more, I think what's important is that a lot of streamers bury what they do because they're like, well, people don't get it. They don't know what Twitch is. But that's like a revolving door. If you don't tell them what Twitch is, they'll never know what Twitch is. So you know what I mean? Like when people ask what I do, I say, oh, I broadcast music on Twitch. Do you know what Twitch is? And I've been getting more people say, yeah, I do. I'll have to check you out kind of thing. So I think it's just going to I do think it's going to become more and more big. I do. Trina is also chronically sickening.
I was going to ask about that. Trina, so good to see you tonight. Hello, Trina. Shout out to Trina Chakrabarty Music. So good to see you, my friend.
Areza Beta, who was here earlier, who might be lurking now, is also chronically sickening.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's so cool. Welcome in, Trina. We had Trina on this program a few weeks ago, too, and it was really great.
I saw that. I couldn't make it work for me, but I did see that. I saw the promos. I was like,
well, I appreciate the thought. I mean, now you also had the privilege of having Trina on for Ako Taco, which is as you all know, like a really, really cool series. Like it's a really fun journey into chatting with other musicians. And I don't know how long you've been doing that mini series within your channel, but it is a cool series and I think it's great. I mean, you've got that voice, that interviewer voice that's just really good for that kind of a series. And so a lot of great stories. You know, we've had a lot of cool guests. I think you had Trishs on for an episode too, and so a lot of cool stuff going on there.
Yeah, I love doing it. I think I've done 27 episodes.
Okay.
But it wasn't like precise time. Like I did a bunch and then I took some time off from it and then I did some and then I took some time off. So it wasn't all at once that I did them. But I actually have a radio degree. So I'm like, maybe I should interview people.
I can hear that in your voice. I can hear the radio degree in your voice a little bit.
Yeah. It's hard not to say I've gotten so comfortable on Twitch that I've gone back to going like I try so hard not to do that. They train the likes out of you. How everybody says like blah blah blah. Like they really try to train that out of you.
Interesting.
And so I just did it again. When you say I got so good at not doing that, but I've gotten so comfortable on Twitch that I do it. So
maybe it's a good thing though.
It's the first time I've really ever used my radio degree because I got scooped up by the wedding industry before I could ever use it.
Right.
Now I'm going to know every time. But Trina's episode was so much fun. She is so giggly. Every answer included giggles. And we left that chat just giggling. And I told her, I think I messaged her immediately upon ending stream and saying, I don't know what you've done, but I can't stop laughing and smiling, and I think it's your fault.
Trina says, it is who I am.
Yes.
It's true. I can vouch for that.
It does help that I was an MC on stage, too. So Twitch has definitely upped my game in terms of MCing on stage as well.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. I like talking.
Well, that helps. If you do like talking, that definitely helps the capacity of being a podcast host. So that's very, very cool.
Yeah.
What do you have in the pipeline for future Ako Tacos? Like, are there any guests in the pipeline, or is that on high? Is that? Because I don't know. You mentioned they're not on a specific schedule necessarily, but
yeah. So my plan in February or March, I was going to start booking them again. Well, no, it must have been February. So what happened was in February, I applied to be in the Women's History Month shelf on the front page of Twitch. And I also applied to be in the carousel, the main, carousel on the front page as well. And so I was approved for the shelf and I told my mods and I was like, the thing about being in the featured shelf is you have to be more careful. And so I was like, well, I wanted to get Ako Taco back going again, but I don't think it's a good time now. And I'm really glad that I did that because I ended up in the carousel every single time I streamed. Not just the shelf, the carousel. So the lowest viewership that I had over the course of March was like 200. Every other day was like 3,000, 6,000. And I'm like, this is too much pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't want to interview people on the front page of Twitch. So I ultimately made the right call. And I also don't want to stress people out because you're coming on to talk for an hour and a half or something. And now it went from my viewership average from 50, 60 to like 2,000. That's stressful for somebody. So I'm really glad I didn't make that call because they want you to do what you always do when you're on the front page. They don't really want you to veer too far away from what you always do.
I have heard that. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So Yeah, so my plan was to start scheduling them again after like mid-March so I could have some for April, and I might still actually try to squeeze some in for this month, but just everything in the whole world happened. We had some deaths in the family,
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
I yeah, thank you. It's just there was too much going on, and when I don't feel stable enough in terms of scheduling, I don't want to like jerk other people's schedules around. And so I didn't end up ever reaching out, but I have a list, a whole
Oh,
a whole list of people that either I know are interested or I'm gonna ask them because I want them on my show.
mhm.
Uh, and so I do plan to do it. It might not happen as soon as I'd like it to happen, but it is gonna continue on because I love doing it. But it's just and with gigs being scheduled too, we tend to have Friday gigs, so that cancels my stream during the day. So I might end up moving them to any day as opposed to just Fridays, because Fridays are kind of always like a gig could get scheduled and it could be out of town, and now I have
Mhm.
to leave at 9 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it's getting a little bit stickier with IRL stuff, but I do hope to bring it back. I do definitively say that I'm going to bring it back. I just am not entirely sure when.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I mean, as you mentioned, Fridays can often be very exciting. Like you said, they're definitely
Mhm.
good days to do gigs. So
Yeah.
I can sympathize with that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Darla Sarlo says that's when she scooped me up. Nice. Um, and
Yes.
and Sparky says Monster Ball deserves a front page with the
We
Mitras.
did.
Really?
We did do a monster ball on the front page.
Ooh.
And if the opportunity arises, I will absolutely do it again. We did a monster ball on the front page, which for those of you who don't know what that means, because that sounds so weird to just say, I realized a monster ball is when I dress up as some type of Lady Gaga and I impersonate Gaga vocally the whole stream, no matter what the request is. I've done Down with the Sickness now a million times as Gaga because it's one of the best things.
That's so good.
And so the very last stream of March, we did it for the very last stream. And so we did a monster ball on the front page. My biggest concern was, again, I didn't change my content, but every time somebody came in and stayed, I was like, by the way, I'm me. I'm not like, this isn't what I do all the time. I'm Gaga today. Like, I kept disclaiming over and over again. So,
That's true.
yes.
If that's your first impression of EBX.
I know. And so I wanted to do a monster ball on the front page, but I also was like so paranoid that people would like
Wrong
be
one.
so confused the next time they come to my stream.
I understand. Yeah, I hear it. But it is also a fun. I mean, it also probably gets people in the door too. I can imagine. It sounds like a great stream.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's tiring because I have to dress up 1st and then stream, as opposed to just this is like an hour top to bottom if I gotta wash my hair.
Right.
So I hate taking a long time to get ready, but Gaga does take a little bit longer. It's costuming and stuff.
Gotcha.
And contact lenses, just all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a lot of fun, and being Gaga for the day is freeing, believe it or not. It's like putting on drag. It's freeing. It kind of allows you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. It's hard to describe.
It's like you take on another personality with it. Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I look at myself in OBS, it's so strange. It's really strange. Depending on the outfit I choose, the illusion is better. So sometimes I'll glance and I'm like, holy cow, Gaga is sitting there. Like, what?
Yeah,
It's
Smack,
weird.
you asked that question for me. I was going to ask if the meat dress was part of that.
Yes, we've done the meat dress.
Nice.
It was not meat.
Okay.
What we did was, and this is all Trish. So what we did was we took a drop cloth and we designed pieces of meat. We sketched them out, cut them out, and then we basically used like a long cami tank top that was like way past my hips. Like it was just a long cami tank top that was tight. And we pinned the painted pieces of meat, it was just drop cloth, onto this dress to make it look like they were slabs laying on me. And we made a little hairpiece because she had a hairpiece, a little meat hairpiece. and and we did. Oh yeah, we did it New Year's Eve, 2021. So not that long ago. I'll have to bring the meat dress back one day. Because it's just hanging awkwardly in the closet because it's just all pinned together. Like it's real weird. It's really weird. And then the back was just open. It was just a tank top in the back. I think I put shorts on just in case I got up or something. But it was so stupid and it looked like meat on screen. It was so convincing. Trish did a really good job of painting the pieces of meat. They looked so good. Like I was a little creeped out by it. They were hanging around our house drying. And it just looked like slabs of meat hanging around our house.
If you haven't seen it before, and I have not seen it before, that is something I gotta take a go scope out. If any of you have clips of that for the chat, I would gladly take.
Oh,
them.
there are clips.
Nice.
Because instead of me singing Mean Girls, I sang Meat Girls.
That's phenomenal, Erin. That's great.
Yeah.
Let me catch up on some chat. A lot of great comments in our chat. Let's see. First of all, exclamation point question. Although I would like to do Q as a, I don't know if I can make that an alias, but I will put your question in there, Dallas Arlo. But let's catch up on chat first. So, Erin, the best Gaga impersonator. Sparky, honestly, I was feeling very similar. I feel like spiritually your voice definitely it's very close to that of Lady Gaga. Like would you consider her an inspiration for how you sing?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And what's funny is in the wedding band, that's where I discovered I could sound like her. Because when I joined, they were doing Just Dance and Poker Face. And I had the brilliant idea to do this shtick to bring different crazy sets of glasses on stage with me. And so they would call the next song. I would see that it's Gaga and I would go, I had these glasses hidden on stage. And I would go turn around, stick them on, and then wait for the do 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 do. And I would turn around when I started singing and everybody would be like, yeah. And so I would just get into it. And I went into this voice that wasn't mine. And I was like, I think like I actually just didn't even realize what I was doing. I was just mimicking her. And everybody loved it. And I didn't even know I could do it, but you're absolutely right. My voice with the type of technical training that I have in terms of enunciation, breathing, all of the things I do are exactly what she does. So all I have to do is go harder on all the techniques. And I actually sing better when I'm Gaga because I don't let up on the technique part of the singing. Because she never does. All she is technique. She just sings like a Broadway singer all the time.
Yeah.
And so I actually hurt myself less often when I'm singing like Gaga because it's just technique upon technique, just, layered on layer. And yeah, and people also say I kind of look like her too. It's not very hard for me to look like Gaga.
That's phenomenal. So
yeah, I just kind of contour my nose a little bit differently. And she has a bigger upper lip. And otherwise, we have the same brows, same eye color, almost the same face shape. It's, yeah, exactly, Sporky. That's exactly it. It doesn't take a lot of work for me to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're absolutely, you hit it on the nose, Sparky. You really did. Like, it's really great. So let's scroll back a little bit more. Arma 1917, AMS to think Akko Tacos were meant to rest Erin's voice after Thursday band streams. That would make sense.
They were,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were streaming until 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And so at the time I was streaming at 12:30 on Fridays. So having Stuart, having my voice functioning till 11 o'clock at night. And then I get home, I can't fall asleep because you're all riled up from rehearsal. And then trying to get up and stream at 12:30. Bye. It wasn't working for me. And so that's actually what was born out of. I wanted to start an interview show and it was to help rest my voice. Now, mentally, it doesn't help mentally because Davey, doing an interview sounds like it's really easy, but a good interviewer has done a ton of homework.
Yep.
Because you have to make it look easy.
100%.
And so it actually ended up being more work than resting my voice. So that's why I'm considering changing the days because
for sure.
Because not only Fridays are in danger of a gig being booked, but it is what it is. This is my little man named Sean, by the way.
Hi, Sean. Good to see. Aw, how you doing?
He was talking to Davey before we went live, y'all. You missed it.
Yep.
He was just chatting up a storm with Davey.
Sean was definitely excited to be on. Yeah, Sean appears to be really excited to be on camera, folks. So I was really excited to introduce myself to him as well. No, that's really great. I have terrible taste. I love this. I love it. Welcome in. So good to see you, my friend. But yeah, your point about prep is a real thing. And I know you made the comment on stream one time that you do it by stalking people, like whether they're on their shows or on their socials. It goes a long way though. Like just knowing how people are, it helps you interact with them.
Absolutely. And you have to know exactly what's going on in their lives, and it's a bit of stalking, like, and you have stalked the hell out of me. I appreciate it.
You're not alone.
Do you this little man right here, he just plopped right down. He's just happy as pie. He doesn't know we're streaming. He doesn't know. It's fine. But yeah, you have to stalk the crap out of people. And then sometimes people just don't have anything on their websites. They don't have anything personal on their socials. And that actually stresses you out a little bit more, because you're like, now I got to pull stuff out of my ass. Like questions like just about Twitch and music, and that's fine. But I like to get really, really specific. I like to be able to have something else to grasp onto.
Yeah.
And so I would take a couple hours and really stock people. Yeah. But yeah, it actually ends up being more work than resting my voice.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it just comes, like, at least for me anyway, it can come naturally too, because you wind up going to people's channels to go on Twitch anyway, so that helps a lot. But even like you said, that's not the end of the story. You do have other things you want to look about, like, where did they come from? How did they become? How did they? Like little things. Obviously, there'll be some things we'll be asking later. So yeah, definitely. There's a lot that goes into it, and just listening and learning a lot of that.
Yeah. And it helps if you can be in their streams and lurk, but you can't always,
Right.
Like
right.
it's like I book somebody to do an Akko Talk about it, and I try to go lurk and stuff, but sometimes it just can't happen. So you can't always stalk people as much as, you want to.
No, I feel it. And yeah, you're right. Like, I feel like the toughest interviews I've had are the ones who are as not as familiar with what they do. And so you do the best you can. I mean, that's usually the opportunity to ask a little bit more, like, what is your favorite this? How do you do this? And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that really helps. But you're right. I mean, you'll do better when you already know a good amount about them. And all right, so let's keep rolling through the chat. So many cool things here happening. First of all, thank you so much, Trina, for your comments as far as the interviewing styles. I think on behalf of both of us, really. It is a lot of work and skill. I was super impressed by both you and Davey, Erin. Like knowing things, and I was like, how do you know this? It's right there, but you got to do the digging, which is, yeah. And I think it seems evident that you take pride in that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see. I did see a comment from that E-flat guys is chronically skilled because SKILLET. That's pretty good too. That was a lot earlier in the chat. Next question is from horror host Joe, who asks, "What's the hardest part about writing a song?"
Oh, that's a great question. The hardest part for me, it depends on what comes first, because I'm full of ideas. Actually, usually that's not the problem. I'll have a set of lyrics and then no music, no melody, no nothing. And that set of lyrics will sit there for 2 years and do nothing. Unless one of the guys in the band has a demo of music that goes with it, which is almost always what happens at this point. But then sometimes what happens is that I'll have a melody in my head and then no lyrics. So I think that the hardest part about songwriting is getting the full picture, getting the full clear picture of what you're trying to say. Because for me, it never happens at the same time. Never. It's always lyrics or the melody. It's never both simultaneously, which would be so much easier.
I understand what you mean. I mean, we've asked the question before, what comes first? And it sounds like in your case, it could be either one. That's an interesting, wow. That's pretty interesting. Yeah.
The melody that something was just finally put onto their last record we put out last year. I recorded that into my phone memos as da, 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 like 10 years ago. And it finally made it into a song last year.
Wow. I'm glad I know that musicians have said over the years, it is so important to save every shred of things that you can come up with, even something as innocuous as that. You never know. You will go to at some point in your life. That's that's got to be so rewarding when you can finally put
I have it too. I backed it up. I found it in Dropbox the other day because I was trying to show Alex. Alex is my cousin and also one of my vocal students. But I was like, dude, no, memo everything. I was trying to tell him, like, it doesn't matter how crappy it sounds. I woke up in the middle of the night and recorded that in my phone. And I'm like, I will play it for you. I have no problem with that. And it sounded terrible. My voice cracked in the middle of it. It was so not good. Like, it was literally in the middle of the night.
Oh,
yes, exactly, Trina. Exactly like that. And so it finally made it into a song almost 10 years later. So it was the importance of getting it out when you have to get it out. Just, you got to get it out of your head. I wrote half a song the other day lyrically just because, and I showed Trish. She goes, "When'd you write that?" I'm like, "This morning." Like, it was in my head. I had to get it out. So you just have to get shit out sometimes.
No, you really do. Yeah. That's actually true. Like, if you have something that you want to write down, even like if you're a blogger, it's the same thing, I'm sure. Like, oh, I had this really great funny line, and like I have to write this down somewhere. So So just a couple of comments. E Flat said, "Oh no, I'm sorry." Trina said, "Phone memos, melodies to remember are the vibe," which is what you were getting into a minute ago. And it is interesting that you have also recorded weird things on your phone at 4 a.m. when I get up to pee. Trina, that's great. But you can make brilliance. Creative also adds, "A friend of mine is a pop producer who takes voice memos and turns them into full productions." Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's great. But that's really sweet. I have a question from, let me see if I can scroll up for it, because it didn't end up in the queue, but I think it's from Arlo. And Arlo was
from Dallas.
Oh, from Dallas, yeah. So Arlo from Dallas was asking, what kinds of tech do you all use on Horror Host Joe? Thank you so much for that question. That's a great question, Horror Host Joe. So now to Arlo, who says, what kinds of tech do you all use when performing with the whole band on stream? Is there live sound in the room, or is it all through a DAW? A DAW.
Yes, it is. So we actually run a closed system through a PreSonus. Couldn't tell you what model it is. We've had it for many, many years. We run in-ears, and it's all through a PreSonus, and then it gets routed to Pro Tools in Kevin's room. And it all is all coming through a Scarlett, and the only thing that happens out loud is the drum set. So it is super clean. There are no amps. We use helixes. The guitar, Johnny and Phil both use helixes. And that's a fantastic question. A lot of people don't know that, but we run everything through a closed circuit system, meaning just everything is inclusive. That's what we take to a gig too. Kevin comes with us. He does our sound, and he hands the sound guy a left and a right into the PA, and he controls it from an iPad, basically.
That is wild.
And we have no sound on stage other than a drum set.
I've never heard that executed before. Maybe I have, I just didn't know. That is
professional bands do it. Like
okay.
I don't mean like us. I mean like touring professional, like household names. Those are the people you've seen do it.
Wow.
And that is how you get a really clean stage sound. He is like, "Why aren't you talking to me? Why are you talking to the screens, Mom?" But that is definitely how you get the cleanest sound. It's becoming at Creative. I agree. It's becoming more and more the norm, but it is a huge investment. The whole rig is, we have, I think we have 8 in-ear systems, because we actually used to have a couple dedicated background singers as well. And the board, obviously, our board is 16 channels. No, maybe 24. I can't recall off the top of my head, but it's a lot. And then we have the Shure paddles to help with the signal, because heaven forbid you're in a place that there's a ton of signals everywhere. Your in-ears don't work anymore. That's fun. So it's really super complicated. We have all wireless mics, so that way every single person in the band has a mic, because all of us sing. So it's a lot. It's a lot. My mic is the only one that's like uber expensive. The rest of them are like, I think $800 mics, which sounds expensive until you realize mine was like $3,000 or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So the amount of Sweetwater debt is real.
Oh yeah.
Me and Kevin paid it off long ago.
Okay.
But we started buying that rig in 2015.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 2016. So that the rig is long paid off, but it has seriously done its job. Which mic is 3K? Yeah, the one that I use for rehearsals too. It's that one. It's really, really lovely. I forget what it is though.
Is it a condenser? Like what? Wait, can you do a condenser live? I'm curious.
You could, but it wouldn't work very well.
Right, I was gonna think. Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. But
at the studio, there are certain rooms that I totally could use a condenser mic for, but we just use the rig that we perform with.
Okay. Yeah.
Because then here's your wireless mic. You can walk around.
Yeah.
You know. So we just you can use a handheld condenser. I've never thought to do that. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I have like on a first name basis with our Sweetwater guy.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Electro, I haven't seen you in a minute. Like, let me say hi to a few people. Like, first, Stuart Hayek. I'm sorry I went so long without saying hi to you in the stream, but it's great to see you, Stuart Hayek. Let's give a shout out to our friend Jillian, who Stuart is the mod father for. Dr. Electro, it has been a minute. It's so nice to see you tonight, Dr. Electro. Hey, Davey, hope you're well. Long time no see. Good morning to you too. Dr. Electro is out on the other side of the planet. Always good to see you, my friend. Hope your breakfast is going well. Life just catching up.
I thought you said Dr. Lecter for a second, and I was like, wait, what? Dr. Lecter is here?
Dr. Hannibal Lecter's in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, Thailand. Okay, cool. I hope everything's all right over there for you. Yeah, a.k.a. Powder is in the chat. It's great to see you again, a.k.a. I met her in TrishCon as well.
We got to meet Io as well. I forgot. She was here for family business in Michigan. And we got to go out to lunch with her. We had a great time.
She's awesome. Like, a.k.a.'s awesome.
I totally forgot. Yes, Io was a blast. I can't call her anything else. You're just Io. Even when you meet people in real life, you can't call them by their names, even if you like know them.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I'm with you on that.
It's so weird. Like, I can't call Jove his name. I can't do it. I'm like, no, you're Jove. What? No. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Like, I've met C-Dub. I don't call him Chad. I call him C-Dub all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Iowa's the best. Foch. Iowa's cool. Damon says, I feel weird when people call me by my government name.
Yeah.
I hear
and
that.
Sometimes there's too many of that name as well. It's a pretty common name in our camp. And so people were ordering food at one of the places, and all three of the same people with the same basic name that is John, but different variations, ordered food, and everybody kept asking, "This is for John?" And everybody was like, "Oh, that you? No, oh, you? No, you is who is it?" It's like there's too many Johns.
Oh my gosh,
can't do it.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
So many variations of John here.
John, Johnny, John.
Yeah,
that's great.
Exactly. It's funny.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, next question, and I think we're getting pretty close to time, so let's do a couple more.
We have some more time if you would like. I'm doing all right on my spoons.
Okay, cool. So this one comes from Jerry at Photic Photon. Again, one of our friends. He's a very, very good, really good photographer, folks. So if you want to check out his work, you can go to his channel, a Photic Photon, on Twitch. And the question is cereal breakfast soup?
Okay, there's a whole thing about cereal being soup. Like I'm not the first person to tell anybody this, correct? Like, this is a whole thing on the internet. I can't subscribe to cereal being soup. I can't do it. I feel like soup has to be hot, doesn't it? I don't know.
They do have this spot show that is cold, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I don't think I can consider cereal breakfast soup. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I respect that though. It's This is almost like the hot dog debate again, but not quite. A little bit different. A little bit different. A little bit different.
The hot dog being sandwiched.
That's been an ongoing theme here on this channel, folks. Like it's
Yeah. This debate comes up more often than I thought it would.
I hear that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. See, Armut says, I hate that it is the soup. Wait, I hate that it is the soup. And Jerry says, it's a sweet soup. But doesn't it have to have like vegetables for it to be a soup? You know, like and meat. That's kind of my interpretation.
Teabag a sandwich.
What?
I like that question because it's totally nonsensical.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love that joke. I do love that. E flat says I concur with Erin. Dr. Electro says adding 2 items does not constitute soup. Yeah, this is. It'd be like if you put soda in a bowl. Like, is that soup? Like, I don't know. Like,
No. And like what Jesse just said, I made a recipe called strawberry soup. It's just a smoothie in a bowl.
Yeah. Add bananas or strawberries or apples with the milk and it's a soup. The fruit is veggie.
Milk stew. Oh.
Okay. Yeah,
this has gone off the rails.
Yeah. It really has. Milk stew. Okay. Would anyone like to throw in another question tonight for EBX Erin? Let us know. Wait, when was it on the?
Get to ask me a question ever again.
Nah. But even though I know that's a thing over at your channel, I do still enjoy the idea of like going full bore with it. So yes, if you have like to throw another question in, we'd love to take it. Ooh.
Yeah, we did basically an art takeover last week.
Okay.
Last Friday, not this past Friday, but last Friday, and basically it ended up being just chatting the whole time, which is fun, honestly. Like, I legitimately just like talking to y'all, like. And I also like not being the interviewer. It's nice.
So yeah, I hear you on that. It's fun. It is fun to like. I do enjoy chatting with people too. I think this is why we've had such a great time doing the sandwich show here.
Yeah.
I'm still laughing at Io's question.
I know. If you only had one shot.
And folks. You being from Michigan must be an especially heartwarming question for you.
Yes. Eminem lives here in my heart.
I love it.
Yes. We actually do mash up Lose Yourself in one of our songs when we do it live. So it's a kind of a nice call out to Detroit, especially when we're not in Michigan, because we can be like, hey, we're from Detroit. Sing it. Like, it kind of helps people remember, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. What do we have remain? Oh, okay. So Dallas Arlo, Converse or Vans?
I've owned both in my life, actually. Vans for comfort, Converse for cuteness. Because Converse are terribly uncomfortable. They are the flattest foot shoe ever.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. I've had some Converse once or twice, and yeah, it's very much. I think they were just from a different era when comfort was not a priority with shoes. Like it just.
Yeah.
Just weird, and they never bothered to change it. They just kind of kept making it the same way.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay, thank you, Dallas, for the question. Dallas Arlo.
Great question. Dallas is also here in Michigan. So
wow. Yeah. Well, Dallas, nice to have fellow Michigan representation here in a chat. EBX Dad, we have to remind Erin she is a singer sometimes.
In my chat or my stream. It'll go like an entire ad break and I haven't sang a single song. It's been like 33 minutes or something.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. It's brutal some days. I just want to talk. Some days I just want to talk.
No, I mean, you know, I wouldn't be too ashamed of that necessarily. And Io adds, Eminem is close to our hearts. We're not responsible for Kid Rock. Nope.
No.
And then Trish says, we can hear Erin sing anytime, but the digressions are priceless.
Yeah. We have digressions that go so far away from what I thought something was going to start at. We had a whole poop digression today. It lasted the entire stream.
My
There
God.
have been multiple teabag digressions.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, yeah, it's a lot. And then you never really know where it's going to go. You think you know when you turn on your camera and you hit go. You think you know what your stream's going to be like. You'd be wrong. You'd be wrong. Yeah.
Well, that's the charm of it too, I imagine. Let's see. Trishs says we do not claim Kid Rock nor Ted Nugent. Who would claim Ted Nugent?
Oh,
these days?
true.
Yeah.
True.
Exactly. Oh yeah, Trish, today we had a 15-minute digression on Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Wild.
True.
Let's see what else we got. I love poop and teabag digressions. Says I have terrible tastes. I'm gonna go ahead and run the. Well, some of you will be back in 90 seconds, but I'm gonna catch up on the chat while we wait out these 90 seconds, and we'll go to couple more questions. Although these questions already in there. Teabag. I mean.
Yep, you've been teabagged.
Very well. Let's see. So what else do we have? So Joey St. Louis said Crocs, and Jesse agreed to that. And Io says, thank you. And Armut says, see, my shot makes me think Hamilton, which is funny because you think of I see those mashed up a lot. Like
Do you? I've never seen that before.
Human Juke 81 did it one time, and I thought it was brilliant. I was like, these two songs definitely go together. Like, so the Eminem song, the music, God gonna take my shot. It's the same beat. It's the same like rhythm and everything. It works.
I never even realized that.
Try it out. It'd be fun.
Oh my gosh. I don't know the song well enough, but I'll have to find like mashups of it so I can listen. I don't know Hamilton terribly well. I've only heard it a couple times. But that's dope though.
Yeah. It definitely is. Definitely is. Let's see. Keep catching up on chat some more. And then they destroy my socks. What happened?
The Converse.
Oh yeah. Converse is a bit of an enigma for me. Like, I have to agree. Like, if you want blisters, wear Converse. Like, that's sort of my attitude towards those. Like, you like blisters in your feet? Definitely get your Converse shoes on. They sell headlights for Cross. Just saying. You can throw Vans in the air and they land on the sole.
Yes,
that's true. Yes. Trish, that's a great comment. How did people play NBA ball with Converse? That's a great question. They used to play with NBA basketball with those little shoes. I don't know. Their feet must have been all red and sore at the end of every game. All right, so we're back. We have everyone back. So let's continue the last couple questions, and we'll say goodnight for now at least. Same with Doc Martens, TBH blisters. Yeah, Jesse, honestly, right? It was. I guess people just didn't know better. They're like they invented tennis shoes, and like, why can't all shoes be like this? It's like, well,
yeah.
And eventually they were all like that, so it's kind of interesting. All right, so here's a question from Creative Minds. When starting on Twitch, what was the thing that helped you grow your channel most? Did you notice that fans of your band followed you to Twitch?
Yes. So I think, my Twitch experience is very, very different from, I think, most people's experiences because of the band, because of the... it almost feels like a time capsule, like what 2020 was in those first 6 to 12 months almost. Because it was like this little bubble of all the gigs are canceled. And we actually had people showing up to our gigs here in Michigan. Our draw was probably around 40, 50 people. And that was years and years of pounding the pavement just in Michigan. I can't say that for anywhere else. Michigan is really the only place we really had a 40, 50 person draw. But I'm very, very proud of that. And so basically, when we started canceling, when the gigs all got canceled, we went straight online and we told everybody on socials, listen, we know you don't have anywhere to go. We know you're stuck at home. You don't even have to make a Twitch account, but you can if you want to. So pop on over. And what happened was our first 3 streams had like 50 people in them. And then once I went off and did my own thing, and Johnny and Jen and Phil and Darren and Kevin all kind of popped off and went and did all their own things, we saw the people that were more gravitating toward each of us. And to this day, only a handful of them have stuck around. Some will pop in here and there and say, hi, what's going on? But, for most people, life moved on. And that's the sad truth. But the beginning was all IRL people. I still remember like the first handful of not IRL people, and also some of them are still around today. People like Catachino and Blumenfaust, and there's a handful of people that still to this day are at almost every single stream, and they were the first people that really stuck around. And I was floored because I just thought that like IRL people might come and cool. Like, yay, I'm happy that my IRL friends want to sit here and watch me while they work from home and are stuck, you know? Um, but other people found us. So I had a very, very different experience than most people will. A lot of our IRL friends did come over, which now looking back, and I've said this before in the last year, I didn't realize how lucky we were, because a lot of IRL friends, it's very similar to go to my show, come to my show. Are you going to come to my show? Like, no, nobody wants to go to your show. Like nobody wants to go to your show. And so when I had so many IRL friends legitimately come over to Twitch and learn how to use it, I was just flabbergasted and so happy. And then when I realized that most musicians that start on Twitch didn't have a draw like that anywhere for any reason, it was like, and I didn't realize this until like, I don't know, probably 2021, honestly. So like we streamed all of 2020 part-time, not as hard as I ever have gone now. And then when I started to meet people and I heard their journeys, it was kind of a big humble brag moment in my brain where it's like, I took for granted how good we had it in the beginning because so many IRL folks came over to stream. SMAC is one of the remaining ones that still comes in almost every single stream I've known, and SMAC was coming to our gigs before the pandemic. So it's, yeah, it was huge. We had a lot of IRL people come over, a lot.
That is you're right. That's a very unique story because and it's great that is an awesome thing. It really speaks to how loyal your fan base was, that they would come over and stay with you for a while. That's really great.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that
for most of 2020 too. Like they stuck it out until life got too hectic again,
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I love Sparky's journey to you as well. Like Sparky said that I was hooked in the first Monster Ball stream I stumbled on. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Like it is. Yeah. A lot of people in chat are kind of talking about how amazing that story is. That's an amazing story. And as you mentioned, usually when you start out on Twitch, you're probably getting like maybe 2 or 3 people on a stream. You start with 50. Yeah. Like that's a great start. Like that's
yeah.
Very cool.
And then outside of the IRL people that came over, I dug, for lack of better, I'm going to use my fingernails as the analogy. I dug my nails right into everything to like Twitch. I learned what emotes were, what would people want to use, and what is a raid and why do people do it. And I almost immediately got back on Twitter because I have an ElsieBinx Twitter, but like I didn't really use it that much. So I made my own Twitter. Went full force on social media and started lurking and talking in people's streams and making friends. And at first it was kind of what I was talking about earlier, is proximity. I was doing that to people, I think, because you don't know any better. I feel like you have to learn what Twitch culture is like. So you want to hang out in partner streams in hopes that maybe somebody will notice that you're a streamer. You don't want to be like, hey, follow my stream, but in hopes that maybe somebody will see you and follow you and come over. And then I realized I'm like, oh, I'm making friends. like I actually like these people, kind of thing. And that's honestly what it was. I spent the majority of my time on Twitch, whether I was streaming or not. And it's this little bubble, like I said earlier, it's this 2020 bubble that allowed me to do that. Most people never get the time to do that. And I just got so lucky in 2020 to just sit and really dig in on Twitch,
It's a heck of a blessing. And I think a follow-up in Joy St. Louis is a great one. It's a great follow-up question. Have you felt a big change in who is in the stream? I guess I guess we're thinking in the chat since you got the huge follows.
Yeah. I would say, and also thank you for that, creative. That's very sweet. Thank you. I would say, yeah, the turnover is probably, and that's a really like, I kind of hate that that's the word that I have to use because it feels so corporate. Uh, but because we're talking about people here, you know. But I feel like the turnover, some people stick around forever. Y'all know who you are. You're here. A lot of you are here. Some people don't, and that's okay. And you see them a lot for like 3 months, and then you don't see them for a year. And then they pop back in. It's like, hey, how the hell are you? You know what I mean? And so I feel D's been gone. Goodbye. Goodbye, D. Leave. But it's crazy because some people really do stick around like kind of permanently, and it's wild. I never really thought that was going to happen, and so I would say that especially with what just happened on the front page in March, our current 40 to 50 average, I would say a good 15 of them are brand spanking new from March who keep coming back over and over again. And y'all know who you are in the chat right now. Yeah. And I feel like that does happen every 6 months or so. Like, and it's a turnover, you know? Can you separate the business from the hang? You know what? The only way I can separate the business from the hang is by blocking my live view count. A lot of people don't know that. I mention it every once in a while, but if I think about the business too much, I don't enjoy my time with y'all. And then what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah. That's fair.
If I get hung up on a day where I have 20 viewers, then it trips me out the whole day thinking, oh God, what did I do wrong? And where did everybody go? And that's not useful for anybody.
No,
so,
I think that's just. And at the end of the day, I think what it is, it's believing in your content too, right? So like, why dwell on that? Because I feel like at the end of the day, if you have a great community. I mean, I can see so many cool people are here with us tonight, and I think that goes a long way. And so it's interesting to see the fresh blood that is involved, though. That's cool too. That's an exciting thing.
Yeah. Yes, and the engagement that the what I've noticed from the people that came from the front page, Dallas is one of them here. The people that came from the front page are engaging with me on Instagram like crazy. Like Joey has always been pretty engaged with me on Instagram as well as Sparky, a handful of others, Joe as well. But like the couple of new people say, I'm going to mention them because I don't know if they're lurking or not, but just in case you are, Bree and Seda and Dallas are like so awesome about engagement with me on social media. It makes me feel like a human.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I do.
It's just I love that people send me shit. It's awesome. Sparky's not been blocked. No. It's just wild.
That's actually funny.
Yes, and not only are they engaging, they understand us and they understand our sense of humor. And it's just so refreshing, and it's taken some people a couple of years to really understand our sense of humor. But then the handful of people that have been sticking around since March, it's like they understand our sense of humor within I feel like it was within moments, and they stuck around and never left. And it's like, well, I love you, thank you for that. It's wild, and yeah. Oh yeah, Pitch too. Pitch is another person he's probably fast asleep. He's in the UK. Always sending me stuff. Right, IO. Like it's so strange. Marie was somebody, MFR, I forget the numbers, but MFR was one of the first people that we didn't know personally that we made a mod. And she's been around since almost the very beginning. And she gets us. It's so, I don't even remember what question I was answering, to be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, we're just talking about the growth of your channel, like since you, for example, becoming partner and all that, like that.
The people.
Yeah.
And honestly, the IRL people don't really pop in a whole lot. They do and say hi, but it's just was never what they were gonna do.
No, I guess I can understand that. Yeah. I mean, that's seems all right.
They're not really part of the ecosystem, if that makes sense.
It does.
Whereas Asmac has become a part of the ecosystem. He has plenty of other streamers that he supports.
Yep.
And I think that just a lot of them that came over just for me didn't necessarily find themselves in other places.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I get it.
I do too. I do too. I'm kind of, I think everybody who streams, Creative, I'm sure you would be in this place. I mean, we have Kuya in the chat too. What's up, Kuya? Good to see you tonight.
And I do want to apologize. I did not mean to shit on the average of 20. I did not mean to do that. I realized that was a really crass thing to do. But from my perspective, unfortunately, you know what I mean? Like once you get partner and you've had those numbers, it's heartbreaking to only stream to 20 people. And I know that sounds terrible because you know what I mean? Like I apologize. I don't mean to shit on y'all's numbers. I really don't. It's just from my perspective, it is hard. It's hard to swallow. So my apologies, my sincere apologies. Thanks, Joey.
Yeah,
I know, but as soon as you said that, I was like, no, that's a very real thing because Beta and I are really, really close and we don't really talk numbers for that reason because my bad day is maybe their very good day. So
right.
It's really not the best thing to talk about numbers with especially your friends, but so even if you were kidding, I still I take it real seriously. It's all relative. So I couldn't not say that.
Yeah, we appreciate that clarification there, Erin. I mean, but I understand completely. Like, as Creative said, it's all relative, and I mean, let's see. Yeah, Kuya, I see your points too. I'm glad my IRL friends don't watch me stream. I'm kind of curious what would happen if I have some IRL friends who watch me stream, but the majority of people who like know me from work and things like that, like I would wonder how that would go. I would be might feel a little weird if they did see me doing this right now. But
my parents watch almost every one of my streams.
That's great.
So.
See, that's so cool that you have a supportive family that not only knows that you do this, but appreciates that you do this and are in on it. Like you see them in chat.
And my grandma too.
Nice.
My grandma pops in sometimes. She's like 85. like it's wild. I have an uncle who pops in every once in a while because I think my dad got sick of trying to type what he was trying to say when they were together.
Yeah.
But my dad's like actually like interested in streaming. Believe it or not. I gave him a quick little crash course on OBS.
Oh, that would be fun if they ended up on streaming too. Oh, that'd be great. They could start with Jenga. It'd be an instant hit. If they did Jenga streams,
right?
It'd be like big time hit.
I think my dad wants to stream Fortnite. I don't think he wants to stream Jenga. I could be wrong. Dad, correct me. I could be wrong, but
EBX Dad Fortnite. Let's go.
I told them I don't edit my behavior for them. I am who I am. It's just Erin got fired because of me and Mom. Yeah,
100%.
Definitely, 100%.
I mean, I don't think it's wrong either. I think that's I think that's well said. James Swift Gaming says, I think I was new since February. That's cool. I'm glad you're part of this whole world too, Dream Swift. That's really cool. Yeah, Dream Swift. And you've been really, really present for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Let me just continue through here. But yeah, I mean, Kuya Side Music said that, thinking too much about business, basically agreeing with the point about thinking too much about the business side can definitely take the fun out of it. Yeah, that's very true.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But let me just see. I think there's more here. Oh yeah, Trish says, one of my childhood best friends watches our streams and he's like, this just makes so much sense that you're doing this. Aha. Pretty cool.
He does.
Yeah. I dig it. IO says, oh man, on the off chance I stream now, IRL friends that are not necessarily Twitch folks will pop in, and honestly, it's awkward. My mom hops in chat, and literally every time she says something, I'm a 13-year-old in my head screaming, Mom, you're embarrassing me!
See, my parents will call me out on things that I did in the past, but I'm like, yeah, I did it. It's fine.
Well, Creative Minds, thank you very much for that question. That's a phenomenal question. I mean, it really sparked an incredible discussion. So Damon Arke asked teabag, and I think we answered that earlier. Let's see. Jove says reserve that EBX Jenga name just in case. I'm serious. I'm telling you, EBX Jenga. Let's go. That's just. Yeah. I know people can be trolls though. Yeah, I'm kind of with that. Depends on who it is, but sometimes. Your closest friends are also the biggest trolls. You ever feel that about it?
Yup.
Yeah. So it's all part of the game. It's all fun. Jerry says that my coworkers tell me I'm in the wrong field of work. Oh, wow. Are we talking about like your IRL work? I hear that. Yeah. I know my IRL work is the wrong field. Like this is kind of more like what I feel like I can actually do. Compared to
You seem like you do have radio background, Davey.
Yeah,
very
thank you.
much.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Erin. That's really nice. That now for someone who genuinely has a radio background, that is a very high compliment. So thank you very much for saying that. I had some interning experience in community radio, but definitely not to the level that you did. Certainly. Eric Creative says I'll have to get Erin on my show at some point.
Yeah,
you've been on people's shows too. I saw you with Josephine the Tiny Wiggle Queen it was a few weeks ago, but I saw that spot too. That was pretty cool. Like.
that was so much fun. That was a lot of fun. I legitimately could have sat there talking to her all day long.
Mm-hmm.
She was a great host. She asked, and we had a really specific trajectory too in terms of our conversation, because she really wanted to talk about mental and physical health, and taking care of yourself as a musician on top of that added layer of me having an autoimmune disease. So we just had loads to talk about.
Oh, I love that. Common ground can set the bar for great conversation. Really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, creative. I feel you're there. Got to make the rounds of all the interview shows on Twitch, Sharon. Yep.
And I've done so many because when you realize Twitch is what you want to do, you do say yes to everything, regardless of your spoons, which kind of sucks. But you do kind of have to say yes to raid trains. You kind of do have to say yes to a certain amount of things to get your name in front of people. And honestly, I haven't done anything like this. Well, I did Joe Swaffy's show, and that was maybe in January, maybe January or so, mid-January. And I missed it. Like, I've been prioritizing my own shit for so long that I very much miss getting to just talk to somebody on their channel just because, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so it's one of those things, like I said before, if you take it, you do have to take it seriously because it is my business now, but you can't take it too seriously because then it'll take all the joy out of it. So I want to get back onto doing collabs that aren't just my Akko talk about it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Armut says, the first thing I watched regularly on Twitch was a 3-hour gaming podcast, and I don't even play the video games. I think that's the beautiful thing about podcasts, right? Like, you don't even have to know the show or the podcast or the genre or whatever. Sometimes it can be fun regardless because of the conversation. So, I love that.
And Armut's another person who's like, have you ever missed a stream? Ever? Like, ever missed one of my streams? Honest question. Have you ever missed one of my streams? Like, the dedication to that, I swear, is just like mind-boggling. I love it. And you've been around for a really long time. Once or twice in hundreds of streams.
Once or twice. Understatement of the century. Am I right?
Right.
I don't think I've been to any of your streams without Armut in there. It's a phenomenal attendance record. Like,
yeah,
really good. Now, and Joey, I do appreciate your comment. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you to say. Creative says, there are a few creators that would make every stream these days. There were a few creators I would make every stream. These days, it's really tough to make streams, less the whole stream.
Yeah.
That is tough. Yeah. And like, if you don't work a fully work from home schedule, and I do not, like, that is tough for me to do. Like, I can't be on everybody's stream every day. And I guess what's funny, Erin, and I think you might be seeing this too because you do Akko Taco and also just and the raid trains and everything else, that all the other events you're doing. Every year on Twitch, you know more and more people. So then, you know, you want to get to be you want to be part of other people's shows too. But eventually time is limited in a day. Yeah. So you do the best you can.
Yeah. And I stream. So because of the ElsieBinx channel, I technically stream 4 days a week. And I'm a vocal coach and a studio session coach. And I do also book my own sessions for doing vocal work. And I have to also rest. And so it's crazy the amount of time. And then not to mention, you know, people who have chronic illnesses, we have to sleep like 10 hours a night. And it's like you can't really skip out on that because it starts to kind of snowball really fast if you don't really get all the sleep you need. And then sometimes 10 hours isn't even enough. So I have to sleep 10 hours every night. Like if I don't, I'm a struggle bus the whole day, and I've just made my whole day a whole lot harder.
Mm.
So it's like time management and trying to be self-employed is honestly, it's not even better. Like you still find yourself missing everybody's streams.
Yeah.
It's so impossible. Tell me, I don't know how to say it. Is it Kuya? I'm hoping it's Kuya.
It is cool. Yeah.
Because I just said it wrong. If not, okay, good. I would say right now, the last handful of months, I have not been lurking in anybody's stream. What I do just by habit, when I end a stream, I look at who's online and I open up a bunch of lurks, and I might say hi. If I have a subiversary, I might drop it. But I just make sure all the volumes are on, and I drop a lurk for the number. But I haven't really had I really have not spent time watching people's streams since probably last summer, because IRL stuff, I have to take IRL gigs and sessions, and I don't like it. I liked staying home and supporting people a lot better. But I find myself having to leave the house more, and it's like I have to go, and I might leave lurks open, but actually spending the time. I catch morning streamers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll catch like Sensitive Joy, and I'll catch Ariala. Those two of my go-to morning streamers, because time zones. Ari is in Australia, so that's helpful. I catch more UK streamers and Australian streamers in the morning in Eastern time. And Sensitive Joy just happens to be on Eastern time in the morning. So it's Ari is the best. I fucking love her. And so it's hard. I have to be a lot more. Time zones really do matter. I have to be a lot more intentional about who I say hi to, because sometimes I want to say hi to all 10 people that I have open, and then I won't get up from my computer.
No, you're right.
And
though.
Now I'm.
It's like
yeah.
It's tough. Like it's tough for the best reason possible, though, because Kuya also mentioned earlier, like there's too many good streamers out there, and I think what it's a good problem to have, though, because it's like there's so much talent in everything on this platform. So it's a good thing.
That used to be that's exactly it. There's so many people. So I used to get up every single morning. Every single morning I would get up whenever I get up. I would open up the lurks, spend time on each person's stream, and then walk away, get my lunch, go on about my day, get ready for my stream, and probably look at everybody who was on before I went online if I was streaming that day, say hi if it was a raid that I missed or something, and then I would go online. Like I literally spent all day on a stream day spending time on Twitch and then streaming and then spending more time on Twitch. Like it was a lot. But I mean, it did pay off in terms of the friendships I've built are real, and I'm grateful for that. But it was a lot. I didn't have the spoons. I was pulling spoons out of my ass, creative. I didn't have the spoons. I need to get back into that habit, though, because it was a really healthy habit for me to say hi to people when I legitimately want to say hi to people. So I need to get back into that habit, but it's been hard. I'm trying to get myself back into yoga. I'm trying so hard to do so many things.
Oh yeah. I mean, no, and it's great that you're getting back into things that you used to get in, that you used to enjoy and get into. That's very cool. Very cool too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with one last question tonight.
Sure.
And this is a question that I'm sure everybody here already knows, but for everyone else, what inspired the name ElsieBinx for your band?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. So, and I don't talk about it that often, to be honest. So I never mind answering it for whoever. Kuya, we've actually played in LA multiple times. Hopefully we'll get back there. Hopefully we'll eventually get back. We've played the Whiskey a Go-Go. We've played in Tarzana. We've played Lucky Strike. Anyway, off topic. So the name Elsie, we always joke that it's Elsie Binx because nobody can spell it. That's Petey's Place, creative. Yes, it was Petey's Place, actually. That's funny. Must be the only place in Tarzana that's a rock place.
It probably is. I mean, being real talk, but anyway.
Yes, we haven't been to Boston yet. We do want to get to Boston. So originally, the band ElsieBinx is actually an accident, and a lot of people don't know that. It was a total accident. What had happened was Kevin, who is still Jove. Kevin, who is our co-founder and still our engineer and producer to this day. He was one of the live sound people for one of my corporate bands. And he took the job because he got back in town. He moved away for a while, took a job, and he was one of the guys that came very often to be our sound guy. And he basically, about a year into working with one of the bands, was like, I really like your voice, dude. Like, do you write music? And I was like, I mean, I have a couple songs. And yes, Detroit, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I do have a couple songs. Like, they're not totally complete, but I had like maybe 6 songs written at the time that I was just doing exactly nothing with, exactly nothing. And he was like, well, I work at a studio. Like, I literally produce music for like a living. So if you ever want to work on music with me, I really like your voice. I'd love to work with you. So handful of months later, January of 2015, we set up a date and he listened to my demos and we decided to continue working together. So I had to come up with a project name. And it was just me and Kevin and one other person named Erin, a.a.a. That's how you spell it. a.a.a. And we workshopped the crap out of these songs. We hired musicians to cut all the parts. I played piano on a couple of them, but I actually don't think they ended up making them to the final cut because we actually ended up liking everything else better. So what happened was I just needed a project name and I ran an Indiegogo so that way I could synergy folks. That way I could maybe not go broke in the process because making music is very expensive.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Kuya, I love that. Erin and a.a.a. Where's Jaqueline? Okay. Balake, are you here? But anyway, so I'm like, shoot, I need a name. And I didn't really know where to start other than the fact that I didn't want to go by Erin Elise, which was what I kind of was going to go by. Elise is my middle name. But I was like, I want to go something like just, I don't know, something poppier. It just didn't feel right to me. And so Elsie is actually a family name. My mom named me Elise, Erin Elise, my middle name, but one of the other versions of the name was Elsie. Like my grandmother's name was Violet Elsie. And I have always taken a liking to the name Elsie, even though my mom did not really love the name. And so that was kind of an easy thing for me. I really wanted to use Elsie. And so that was like, okay, one name down, but Elsie's too specific, too not specific enough. There's too many Elsies in the world. So I'm like, I need a last name that's like a spirit animal. And I workshopped this for a long time. And my parents were there. My mom actually ultimately is the person who came up with Binx. She's the person that put that in my head. Ooh. But I was like Elsie Mars, Elsie Fox, Elsie Crow. I was thinking about what I want the branding to be.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of person I am. I was looking at the big picture and I was also searching, like, you can't have the same name as somebody else. You just don't do it. Don't do that. And so, yes. And so, Elsie Fox was one of my favorites, but it was taken in just enough places where I was like, I shouldn't do that. So originally it was just going to be my stage name. And so it was just me, myself, and I. And nobody else really was in a band. I didn't have a band. I was just making music with Kevin and a.a.a. And my mom was like, what about Binx? And I'm like, are you talking about the cat from Hocus Pocus? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, that is a black cat. And I love that. Like, that's great for me. And I sat on it for a couple days and I went with it. And I'm like, you know what? Hopefully one day Disney sees and assists me and desists me. And that's high up. If Disney gets word, and I'll be very happy if we exist. It's the cat from Hocus Pocus. And I went with it. So my mom technically is the reason for both Elsie and Binx.
Wow. So Binx is the cat from Hocus Pocus. How about it?
So at some point, I don't know when this happened, but I was like, every time I would be like, yeah, it's Elsie Binx. Elsie like the cow and Binx like the cat. And some people will look at you like, I'm sorry, what? And other people are like, oh my God, I get it. So, you just got to go with it. But yeah, that's the actual unabridged version. Both names came from my mom's brain in some way or another. Yes, Dad. I'm sure, Dad, you did. I'm not saying you didn't, but the things we landed on were from Mom. Well, Elsie, I just kind of did that. I don't think I
Right, right.
really.
Yeah,
I don't
creative.
think I said, "Hey, is Elsie a good idea?" I think I just did it. Um, but yeah, and a lot of people here only know like maybe a tidbit of each bit of that.
Yeah.
Like I don't often go with the whole story. So, one of the branding ideas that I still would really like to do is a punk rock cow. I'd really like to do that. An Elsie the cow that
A
is punk
punk
rock.
rock
I'd still really like to do that at some point.
like an
But
animated
yeah.
cow, or just like you'd be on stage as a cow?
Oh my God, not like that. Although I would totally do that. I love that. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Oh,
Kuya, I love that. What 1, 2 word describes Erin? Wrong answers only. I
oh
love that.
boy.
So yeah, now you know all the tidbits. That's true.
That
That
is
was a
a-
great question.
Yeah, that was a great. Oh well, that I was like, great question. I forgot that I was the one that asked it, but yeah, but thanks for that. And I
Yeah.
really, that was a treat. I was always wondering where that came from. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Really cool. And
Yeah, it's like too long of a story to like put on the website in terms of history.
oh yeah,
It's yeah, you know what I mean? Like
do.
it's just
I
kind of a weird story to type out.
yeah. Yeah, we'll see what 1, 2. Okay, here they come. 2-word answers that describe Erin. Wrong answers only from Kuya. Tattooed cow.
Tattooed cow.
And
That's me.
there you go. But so, what would be the implementation for those of you who were coming out of break? Erin brought up the idea of a punk rock cow. So this is a punk rock cow, and it's. I'm just trying to visualize what it's.
So like picture Elsie the cow, like the branding that was Elsie the cow.
Oh, it'd be
But,
the
like-
branding. Okay, like for the like the logo and so on. Okay.
Yeah, for like a t-shirt design or something.
Oh, okay.
So like take the Elsie the cow, if you Google Elsie the cow, and
Okay.
then give it like extra piercings, maybe a mohawk or something, or like a punk rock haircut, more tattoos on its body. Obviously hooves don't have nails, but you know what I mean? Like do some weird shit like that. I have literally been talking about this idea for actual years. Many years. Trish knows.
Can the cow say it's like my udders?
paint the edge of the hooves, like you know what I mean? Like yeah, it's not for anything stagey
love that
like
armor.
that. It's just for like merchandising, basically.
Oh, this is fantastic. Okay, so let me because in case you don't remember the story of Elsie the cow, I have a visual. I'll give it to you in a second here. So Elsie the cow is the mascot for the Borden brand, which I think,
so, yeah.
is the glue brand. I'm trying to remember. Or is it cheese? I keep forgetting which is which. Like one of them is cheese
I think
and
it was
one of
just
them.
milk. I think it was
Oh,
just
it's milk.
dairy
Yeah,
in
I think
general.
I think it was milk. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's Elsie the cow. So imagine that, or maybe like this. Oh no, let me go back. But like a nose ring, and then like hair that's like sticking up at the
And
ceiling.
I picture like a bust also, so that way you get a little bit of like maybe like a hand doing something like this, like hooves
Yeah.
going up, or like a hoove like this or something. I have it all in my head, but I don't have the artistry to just draw it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Trish says Elmer is probably Elsie's brother. I mean, honestly, right? Like, I think the Elmer's glue. Like, yeah, I could totally see that. Yeah, Stuart, so good to have you back. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Give our friend. I mean, I would say give our friend Stuart a follow, but he does not stream. However, he mods for Jillian, who is here. So follow our friend Jillian Hayek.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Oh my God, I look like Elsie the cow. This is Stuart.
Stuart.
That's great. Good times. Sumiko, nice to see you in the chat tonight, by the way. Can't unsee. There you go. Wait, can't see what? Like Stuart being a cow? Like, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure what you were responding to, but.
Out of the abyss walked a cow. Elsie. Exactly.
Bravo. I love that. You're very welcome, Sumiko. Let me thank so many people for follows. This is the most follows I've had in a long time, so thank you everybody for following the Sandwich Show tonight.
EBX fam sure knows how to show love.
Thank you, EBX fam. it's really kind of you. Elise 17, Jay is Reddit's 1. I have terrible taste. Vindias 91, Damonarchy. I've got D following. That's man. I'm honored. My goodness. Thank you so much for the follow, Damonarchy. Holy mackerel. Will a cow have glasses? Cow in a meat dress. Wouldn't that be redundant? Like a cow in a meat.
That would be a little redundant.
Yeah. It's so wrong, but it's like so wrong that you almost have to do it now. It's like that's just
Right. Like it's so wrong that it's so right.
Oh, no worries, Dan. No worries, Dave. I actually thought I'd been following since the first interview you do. Was just too shy to do it live. No worries. It was great to see you here, my friend. Good to sneak in after stream. No worries, all good. I kind of do that too, because sometimes when I thought I followed someone and I didn't,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, I don't want to do it during this stream. I'm gonna wait.
Yes. Yes, I do that all the time. I come back later.
Just to make sure.
Or it's like the problem is I'm following you everywhere else. And so you just assume you're following on Twitch.
Oh, yeah. I hear that.
Because I see you on TikTok. I see you on Instagram. I see you on the places. And so like I must be following. I wasn't following you until like we booked this. And I was
really?
like, wow.
That's funny.
I was so offended by my own damn self. Like,
no shame in that at all. It's like I understand. Like, you know, we all are on so many different platforms these days, right? So it's no problem at all. And I'm so glad that you're following all those platforms. Like that's really great.
yeah, that's how I found you was TikTok.
Oh, really?
I didn't find you because of Twitch. I found you on TikTok, and I was like,
wow.
wait, this guy's a streamer. Wait, this guy is like in my circles. I know the people that are. Like, I found you because of the borking thing.
Yeah, I did. Which I need to ramp up. Like, I need to bring that. I've been slow, or it's been slowing down. I'm gonna get some more into the rotation. We'll get that back into the algorithms, everybody. But thank you for that. I really appreciate. I'm glad you enjoy all that nonsense. Like, it's just fun.
I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy nonsense in general, and I love when people share out of context nonsense on TikTok because it's literally only for us.
Yeah.
Like, it's only for people who are on Twitch. If you aren't on Twitch and you share that stuff, it's like, what?
Right.
But if you're on Twitch, you get it. I'm like, oh, you're putting borks into songs. That's totally normal.
I think the most
normal.
amazing thing is that everybody else around Twitch has been like piggybacking the ideas. Whenever they see me in chat, they start working songs with too. I'm like,
yes, yeah. The TikTok to Twitch pipeline is pretty solid.
It's pretty solid. It's definitely a big TikTok.
I don't utilize it as much as I should. I'm barely on TikTok. I'm such a millennial.
It's funny that now is kind of like almost like implying you're older, whereas back it used to imply you were younger.
Yeah, because millennials aren't on TikTok as much as like even younger Gen Z, you know?
True.
Like we're just not on TikTok as much as Gen Z is. And I am always on Instagram and Twitter. Always.
Right.
But like, I don't know why. TikTok I check like once a week, whereas a lot of people are on it like every day. Like I am on, Instagram.
Yeah. No, I feel that too, because it's like I don't think I use TikTok as much as the others either. I just worry that if I do, I'm gonna like not stop. Like it's that addicting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I scroll all day. Trish will be upstairs working like on a painting, and I will be on TikTok before she left, and she's back down and done 2 hours later, and I am still on TikTok.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm stuck and I love it. I can't stop scrolling.
It's so good. It is. It's that's the thing. It's not just it is actually good content in a lot of cases, which is really nice. Like that's the cool thing about it. YouTube hates when you post videos pointing to other sites, especially. I have heard a little bit about that. I think Twitter hated it even more, but at this, these days I don't care because I'm like, the hell with Twitter. Yeah. But I mean, I know everybody still uses it. I don't want to get too anti-Twitter today, but yeah, because I know.
I feel that.
Oh, I hear you. Thank you. I mean, Rohomo says cold weather hurts my hip. We're not young anymore, Davey. Yeah, I feel that. Rohomo and I, we're pals. I dig. Creative Minds is, I worry about TikTok and its addiction. Oh, yes. Yeah. That's kind of what we were getting at, too.
Yeah. It's addictive. But like when every single thing I scroll into is something I want to watch,
Yeah.
it is hard to close that app. Its algorithm is so good.
It's very good. Yeah. It is really cool to see. I agree with your point. Like seeing other Twitch people on TikTok is extremely heartwarming to me. It's like I know that person. Like I know that I know that fraternity. Like that's really cool. And it's interesting. With like I've seen it on your TikTok. Like you'll do different things on TikTok than you do on stream too. Like you're not necessarily just putting. You're not. Sometimes you're doing content that's not a clip from your channel, and that's cool too. Like I like both. Like
I try to. I like once a month I'll put up a TikTok that is original TikTok content. Maybe once a month.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's all clips.
Well, it's still pretty good though, because the good thing about the chaotic nature of your show is that it really is really good, a good fit for TikTok. Like I think that's has the I don't want to mess up the name, but let me go look up the name before I speak out of turn. But I know I saw when you all celebrated the 3-year stream anniversary. Y'all were cosplaying. I'm gonna get the names. Give me just a second.
Oh, yes. I can say them if it's helpful.
I can do it. I can do it.
It was Naja and Nan.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
So if you had that GIF of whichever one was Trishs doing the GIF dance.
Yes. So I made one of my own emotes on my channel, but I put 5 of them in BTTV. And they are so obnoxious. There she is.
There they go. Yeah. Spam those in the chat, my friends. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. That's an excellent production.
And there's 4 more on BTTV too. Of just different dance moves. And we just literally during an ad break, I just told her, okay, remember, we cleared the screen and I said, look dead at the camera, understand that I'm going to crop this into a square and just dance. And that's how we recorded them. We recorded them on camera, like on stream.
Brilliant direction. Yeah, the execution was excellent here. Look at this, everybody.
Flawless.
Trish says, I am forever immortalized on Twitch as this, and I love it. Absolutely. Let me go over here just so you can see it on stream, because I think people who watch the VOD may not see this. So there you go. They don't move, but they do, but you can at least see what it looks like. So there we go. Back to here. The party's not stopping. Everybody's just throwing them in the chat. This is great.
We're skiing. We're permanently skiing.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, my friends, this Trish is just picture me with a full beard and fangs skiing in place.
It was wonderful.
I loved it. Fantastic stuff. I do want to thank all of you for hanging out tonight. This has been a really incredible time. It's been a great journey. I have enjoyed thoroughly getting to know your story, Erin. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Before I go, I'd love to give you the space to talk about any upcoming events, like new band gigs, new things on Twitch, and things like that. What's in the future for the EBX family?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for having me. And I had told you earlier, like I might be low on spoons later. Let's keep it to 90 minutes. And then when we got to 90 minutes, I'm like, I'm fine. Let's keep going because you're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So thank you for having me. Honestly, I've had a blast. And I finished my whole sandwich.
Yes.
But what's coming up? So I will have my sister back on my stream on Friday.
Sweet.
So that's the next big thing. She is not technically my sister. We grew up together though, and we're very, very close still. I am basically the auntie to her 2 kids. And we grew up together singing. And so she just kicked breast cancer's ass to the damn curb. Okay, it's gone. She kicked its ass to the curb, and she wanted to celebrate by having another stream. We actually streamed together in October for breast cancer awareness. She was just about to start radiation and chemo, and we raised like $2,000 in one day for her treatments. And then she was like, we will do this again as soon as I'm finished with treatment. And she wasn't joking. She texted me like a couple weeks ago and was like, let's go. Let's fucking go. So we scheduled it. We actually scheduled it for last Friday, but we had to bump it to this Friday. Yes, I call her the Saster. I actually call her little girl the Saster as well. Kind of just generationally, you know. But she's my sister, my Saster. Her name is Taylor. And so that's the next big thing on our channel. For EBX, we do have some gigs coming up, actually. They are all listed on ElsieBinx.com. We'll be going, when is our next gig? We'll be going to Toledo, Ohio at the end of May. We will be going to Wisconsin in June, as well as Illinois. We will be also going in June to Battle Creek, Michigan again, and Indiana. So we have like quite a lot. We just confirmed that today. So y'all didn't even know that. We're going back to Indiana in June. So yes, ElsieBinx.com is where you can find all of the upcoming stuff. And oh yes, SMAC, thank you for yelling in purple at me. And you didn't even aggressively yell. Good call. We our next single is actually going to be a cover of the Alanis Morissette song Uninvited. And we just got the master back from that, and we are shooting the music video in an abandoned Catholic church downtown in 2 weeks. And we just talked to the attorney today about shooting it in an abandoned church safely and properly is a lot more complicated than any of us thought it was going to be. But we're making it happen. And we talked to the attorney today, and we got approval for certain things. We didn't get approval for certain things, but it's fine. And yeah, we're shooting on the 13th. SMAC is going to come and be in it. Jove is going to come and be in it. Because we're shooting with extras too. It's going to, like, the whole concept is that we're in this church, and there's going to be some rituals happening with black cloaks, people in cloaks. I don't want to give the whole thing away. but I'm very excited. There are definitely some people in the chat who will be in the video who are coming to help us shoot. And quiet yelling. Librarian in purple. I like that. Not a cult. Maybe that'll be the hashtag on the video. Not a cult.
Not a cult.
So yeah, that is actually good call, SMAC. My brain is going a mile a minute. I forgot. So yeah, we're shooting a music video in 13 days in an abandoned church. If anybody wants to Google it, it's called St. Agnes in Detroit, Michigan. And that is where we're going to be shooting. It's beautiful. It's been abandoned for almost 20 years now. So you can imagine it's in ruin. So we have respirator masks for when we're not shooting. And yeah, it's going to be wild. And we have aerialists coming in to do some aerial work around us. I'm like stressed because we're putting all the final touches together right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to rent an RV, so we have a green room because like we're at an abandoned church for like 8 hours. So we have to get porta potties, RVs, we got to get snacks, we got to get water, so many things. We're trying to get a piano in the building so that way Jen can play a piano that looks all busted and gross. It's a whole thing. It's going to be so cool. And I'm so glad, SMAC, good call. Such a good call to talk about that because I really want to build hype around the release, which will hopefully be by the end of May, early June. So be on the lookout for Uninvited.
That's a great pairing of a song that's so gothic, like Uninvited, and a church that's abandoned like that. That just sounds beautiful. I can't wait to see that.
Yes. I also can't wait to see it.
Yeah. right, for sure. So let's thank everybody tonight. Like so many people thank you. So many people have been so kind to all of us tonight. Many new follows, including 2 new ones from Harley C and Maynip. Thank you so much for the follows, everybody. And you will definitely want to come back tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week. We have some really good interviews the rest of the week too. In fact, a couple people that were in our chat tonight will be on our stream. We saw Green Guy earlier in the evening. We saw Stuart. Actually, Stuart's going to be on the channel on Thursday. So Jillian will be
awesome.
That'll be a fun night. So thank you again for all the resubs and everybody and the gift subs. Really an incredible time. So yeah, Erin, this was great. Have a great rest of your night too.
Thank you. You as well, Davey. And thank you, those of you who followed my channel. I'm running through OBS Virtual right now. I see you following. Thank you for your follows.
Yeah, thanks so much. So yeah, stay with us. We'll be back. As for us, we'll be back tomorrow. As for Erin, you'll see EBX Erin back on stream on Wednesday, I believe.
Yep, on Wednesday.
Nice. And then the last thing, because I didn't mention it, but the curse karaoke is a really cool thing. I just really throw that out there really briefly.
Yeah.
It looks like fun.
I heard you did karaoke too
Oh,
recently.
it was wild. Yeah, we did that on Friday. It was wild, completely chaotic, There's not that there were rails to start with, but it really went off the rails.
Yeah, I have to do it again. It was a hoot. I didn't expect it to be so fun, and then everybody was like, "We're doing this again, right?" Like it was like implied at the end of the stream. Everybody's like, "You're doing this again, right?" Like, please.
Great call by the chat to implore Erin to do that again, because that sounds, and I will definitely make every effort to make the next one, because that just sounds really fun. Like, I'm sorry I missed out the first one.
Yeah, and I mean it was good, and I told everybody there will be no VOD. Nope, no VOD, because too many licensing issues, not worth the appeals, not worth the headache. And it'll be the same way next time too. So if you're not there, you're not there. It was a lot of fun, and I tried songs that I don't know, and it wasn't that bad.
Okay, cool.
It was I mean I did what was the Offspring song that I did? The Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
Ah, nice.
And
nice.
I don't know the song, but what I do know is Weird Al's Pretty Fly for a Rabbi.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I love that one.
And it was perfect. I got all the words. It was fine. And I'm like, I've never thought of doing that song before.
Yeah. Now, Smack, I really love that. And yeah, and that's true. It gives it a hype mystique. Absolutely. Like, just the no VOD component actually builds up the anticipation. Like, this is our only chance to watch it. We have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty smart.
I think we're going to try to do another one before the end of May.
Okay.
I think that's the plan.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for that, y'all.
Yeah. So can everyone do an exclamation point guess just to throw the link up for our friend Erin's channel. And I think we saw a couple of people jump in. Love your smell. So good to see you again tonight. It's nice to see you. Thank you so much. Jesse Nicole Atlas Obscure has a cool pick in an article in St. Act. Oh, nice. Aw, that's great. I'm glad you all had a good time. But yeah, Ken, well, good to see you. It's odd to hear a song I mostly know through Weird Al. There are a bunch of songs like that, right? Like,
same.
Yeah. Like,
yep.
Like, do you? Let me think. I love Rocky Road. You know, that's really going way back, but yeah.
I had so many of his records though, Davey. Like I had like 10 of his records.
Wow, that's pretty good. So yeah.
I had a friend who was really, really into him that I met in middle school, and so she let me burn them all. And so I had probably 10 of Weird Al's records, and I probably know Running with Scissors the best out of all of them.
I feel like it's his best album. Like I really do. Like it's the most complete album.
It's so good.
It's really good. Like there is not a bad.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Some of the songs have not held up over time.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, like, I shared, not to bring everybody down, but the news about Jerry Springer I wanted to share in my Instagram story, and I was gonna put the song Jerry Springer in it, the Weird Al song, and it's not even available anywhere. I'm like, I think I know why it doesn't. Some of the lyrics are really, really not holding up at all. Like, I do not recommend going to listen to them, because I went and listened to it and I was like, oh, this is why it's not anywhere. This is why he doesn't want to get canceled, and I don't blame him for that.
No,
things have changed since 1999 or 7, I think. I don't remember what year, but it was the late 90s.
Yeah, I hear it. You know, even somebody as innocent as an Weird Al could potentially have that with some of the stuff. Yeah, it's weird. It's fine. It's fine. What you know, like things. Not everything ages well in life. For example, New Coke never had a chance. They brought it out. They thought it'll be different. No one liked it, and it was done within a year. New Coke was terrible. Yeah. Don't ever drink New Coke. But that was a 1 week parody. It was a parody of a Bare Naked Ladies song 1 week. Yep. Yeah. The 90s didn't age well in general. Yeah. That is true. Rahoma's right. That is true. Okay. So yeah, anyway, let's again, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week. Oh, here's the best streams, everything. Absolutely. Take care.
Thank you. And you as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I think Pepsi Light though. That's funny. So, folks in chat, let's go ahead and we can go and keep it rolling. But yeah, Erin, all the best. Well, the '90s were hard. I had a kid. Oh, I hear that. But yeah, take care and yeah,
Thank you.
all the best.
I feel so weird hanging up. I'm like, I'm leaving the party, but I gotta go.
For sure. But we respect you.
How dare I hang up right now? I'm gonna hang up on all of you.
No worries, Erin. We got you. We got you back. We got you back. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Davey.
Thank you.
Bye.
That's EBX Erin, folks. What a fun spot, wasn't it? Like that was really, really great. Such a good time, everybody. And if you missed any part of it, we will have the wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Erin had to go, my friends. But but yeah, she's a pro. She really is. If you missed any part of the interview, you can catch it over on. You can catch the Twitch VOD once we're done here. You can also catch our replay on YouTube the next day. Our YouTube handle is @Davy'sEatingASandwich as well, so you can catch the complete replay of this interview. It was a really fun time. Joe says Erin hung up on us. How dare! One of two of my favorite Erins. I have a few favorite Erins too. Absolutely, absolutely. Everest, can I guess the other Erin? Can I guess the other one? I think I know. Would the other Erin be in the Southern Hemisphere? Oh, thank you, Erin. I really got you had a good time. I had a great time too. That was really fun. It's really good times for sure. For sure. I'm gonna play us out with some EBX Erin, some Elsie Binx music. EBX Dad, thank you so much for the gift sub to EBX Erin. That's very nice of you, Dad. I appreciate your mastery of Jenga too. Really good stuff. So let's play some Elsie Binx on as we conjure up some additional conversation. Yep. Down. Yep. Erin Shea, right? Yep. That's right. That's the one. That's what I was thinking of too. Yeah, but what can you say about Erin? Erin was great tonight. Always a good time. And I see here, we were talking about upcoming shows. I see on Spotify there is a May 27th date coming up. I think Erin mentioned this earlier in the stream, but let's go ahead and get these shows going. Oh, turn this down. There we go. But good times. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. It was really great to see you all here. Zero. Thank you so much for the follow. I listen to that voice. Good times. All right, so let's go ahead and calculate a raid. We're gonna raid someone pretty cool. This is a great song. Yeah, taking it back. Oh, you're very welcome, Joey. Yeah, it was a very engaged chat. I loved it. I loved the chat tonight. It was really, really fun. Oh, you're welcome, Sumiko. All right. Ready to go. Let's go. Yeah, this is good. This is called Seymour, folks. Good song. Look at this. Yeah, I love this. I love this. Yeah, have a good night, Jesse. Take care of yourself, my friend. Thank you, Ken. Oh, thank you, Ken. Well, we have a really great show coming up on Thursday. We have our 2-year stream anniversary on Thursday, and we have a really great party coming up on Wednesday. We're going to do some group trivia, and thank you for. Actually, that's apropos tonight. Feel free to, if you'd like to see more of this cool content, feel free to give us a follow over here at the Sandwich Show at Davy's Eating Sandwich. That's my name. And good night, Dream Swift. It's good to see you again. All right, folks. So we're gonna have this play out. We're gonna go raid a friend and also supporter of EBX Erin. We're gonna raid Robbie G Sports OTHP, and so he does sports, but he's also doing art and other things on his channel. It's a good time. So we're gonna go say hi to our friend Robbie. Give our friend Robbie a follow once we get there. It should be great. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Let's go copy the raid call. Thank you, Homo, for putting them in. And let's start the raid. And we'll say hi to our good friend, Robbie. And Robbie did know about our spot tonight, and I appreciate Robbie's enthusiasm for it. Hopefully He'll catch the VOD too. But we can give some love. He's celebrating 2 years as an affiliate tonight for my friends. So definitely show some love to our friend Robbie G. Cool, very nice guy. And take care, everybody. We're going to go raid out. We'll be back tomorrow with a casual conversation with one of my IRL friends. And that'll be tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Meanwhile, y'all have a great night. And let's hang out with Robbie G. Take care, everybody.